I said to him, oh, it's John Rahm of Barstool Sports. He thought that was very funny.
Foreplay presented by John Rahm State Run Media Incorporated. We're kind of the John Rahm guys this week. Feels like Golf Channel really solidified that. Rich Lerner with a great report about how we're just walking with them. It's been a hell of a week for us here in Rochester. Our guy Alex Bush is just Mr. Rochester, which we're kind of debating if we like that or not.
He's got a different swagger to him this week.
I don't like it.
I like it.
I don't like it.
Comfortable?
Yeah, he just he's proud of this place, which I respect. I feel a little bit of that coming from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where people are like, that place is nothing. I will say the weather here in Rochester, throwing everybody for a curveball. Why did Alex Bush just react like that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we're good?
It's fucking freezing up here.
But yeah, and we were going back and forth in the text this morning about we're like, it's cold today. And Alex was just like, we're built different here. You guys just don't know. And then
I'm just being facetious. I'm just trolling.
But I'm saying in a vacuum, that's true. But when it was 75 yesterday and then it's 40 today, we can complain.
Yeah. No, I never said you can't.
Look, the rest of the country,
It's
it's
your
just
fault.
nice right now. And here, it's just not. It's fucking freezing. It's
Yeah.
unbelievably cold
Players
out
were
there.
miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about today was miserable. It was a bad Wednesday at the PGA Championship in terms of weather. And but the course is really good. I don't know how the course is so green if it's been this cold and windy and shitty for the past however many months. I mean, couldn't have gotten too much sun up here.
Really makes those Tulsa live golf superintendents
Yeah.
not look so hot, you know?
Of
It's
course,
like,
still look like shit.
right. These guys figured it out.
They did.
Up here,
Green as hell.
Yeah, it looks nice.
up here in Rochester.
Luscious.
It is. It's stunning course. We have to you all right there?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
Outside of the John Rahm media arm that we become, we're also going to be at Irondequoit Country Club promotional podcast this show.
They've just been so good to us.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're sitting in what is this? They call this the boardroom.
Yeah.
Boardroom. And they just treated us so well all week. We had our event yesterday. It's just been it's been a pleasure.
Is that rich mahogany I'm smelling?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic club. I was giving it a bunch of props today when we were at the range at the PGA Championship. I was just thinking about, we play a lot of Long Island golf. We're always around different clubs. And there's obviously a ton of clubs in the world that have great hangs. But this seems to be one that I'm like, I noticed how good of a crew they have here. It's like a young membership crew that really likes to hang. They all go to the local, what was the name of that place? Thirsties?
Yeah, Thirsties.
Thirsties. They're all going to Thirsties. One guy was like, you come by the house with the kids. My wife's there waiting for you. It's just a very family-oriented, friendly group of guys. What's that banging? What's that hammering going on?
Right as you're saying how great Irondequoit is.
What's that hammering?
There's no way that the mics are picking
Stop
that up.
hammering.
I didn't even hear it.
The hammering.
There's a guy
Okay,
literally
fine.
hammering outside. I don't want him to stop if he's doing his job.
But I
But
think it's
it's just
making
a
it
great
stop.
hang kind of place. They've got a really
reference.
good core base here. I could tell from yesterday at the Rock City Scramble.
Do you remember the Stop the Hammering video?
No.
Who
Trent,
was
do
it?
you remember that
Of
one?
course.
Of course. It's one of the best videos of all time.
It's a viral video from a
Time
couple
video.
years ago.
Who was it?
MSNBC guy, right?
Oh, it's like a newscaster.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like the classic Bill O'Reilly video,
Right.
but on steroids.
He goes, there's hammering around here. I need you to stop it.
He's like,
He goes, it's either coming. At one point, he goes, you could see him actually go.
he goes, it's coming from here,
his
points
ear.
backward, and then he does or around
He
here.
goes,
and he
there's
just-
chaos in my ear right now. You remember
someone
that
in the
part?
control room is out of
He
control.
goes, somebody in that control room is out of control.
Dude.
It's really good.
And then
It's either coming from here, there, or somewhere around here.
and
You got to put this audio in.
dude,
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it? I'll go down to the goddamn floor myself and stop it. Keep the goddamn commercial break going. Empty out the goddamn control room and find out where this is going on. It's either there or out there somewhere.
the peak is before he shows how rattled he is, he's trying to act not rattled. He just goes, stop the hammering. Stop the hammering.
It's really good.
Somebody in that he goes, you're saying nonsense in my ear right now.
sounds like Anchorman. That's
Yeah.
probably why they made the movie.
Pretty
dude,
close.
It is really,
Stop the hammering.
really, really good. So we got some hammering going on. This place is a 1916 Donald Ross course. I didn't really fully grasp, and Alex Bush is going to enjoy this part, but how big of a golf town Rochester is. And they're doing a lot of it. I've been hyping it up on live from the Golf Channel. Walter Hagen, how he's from around here. Donald Ross, I guess, spent 2 whole years up here, and that's why there's a bunch. There's like 7 Donald Ross courses from Oak Hill to Irondequoit to a handful others. I think Rochester CC people were talking about.
Yeah, they got Monroe and CCR.
So, yeah, I guess he came in contracted, did 2 years in the area just building a bunch of courses. And
CCR, like the band?
Yeah,
Country Club
Revival,
Rush.
Clearwater.
Creedence Clearwater
Revival.
Yeah.
So it's a big time golf town, and this whole little, like you said, this vibe right here, this course right here at Irondequoit, what a phenomenal membership. The staff couldn't have been cooler. The event we did yesterday, the Rock City Scramble, 2-person scramble event, I think 9 under won the whole thing. It was blowing like 25, 30 miles an hour. Couldn't have gone better. Fireball Whiskey, shout out to them for sponsoring that whole event. People had an absolute blast out there. Weather was perfect, windy but nice, warm. And just a great time. They got that whole patio seat out there where everybody can hang by the pool.
Yep.
You just gotta love it. The kind of the chill country club vibe is one that I think everyone should aspire to. Like that's sort of the life that's the life, right? It's like, because I know there's like country club adjacent and that kind of stuff. That's like kind of how we started out being like country clubs, and you think of all the stereotypes and a lot of the connotations around it, and you're walking on eggshells. Kind of that this type of club is what I think everybody aspires to, where you get out, you rip around in a golf cart, you hang at the bar with everybody, you hit some balls. It's pretty chill. You go to Thirsties with the crew, you're listening to music. It's not overly serious, but yet the course is built in 1960 by Donald Ross. Like, so it's got a mix of everything. I think this is like the goal in life.
I would guess that Oak Hill's probably not like this, right? It's definitely like a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a little bit more traditional. Yeah, I've been there.
A little stuffier, perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit.
Probably still pretty sweet.
Oh,
this
it's
area's
great.
got
It's
character.
so fun to play out.
Rochester's much
Yeah.
for shitting on you, right? It's a character area.
Yeah.
You guys, best thing you're known for is a thing called the garbage plate.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
And
it's
Alex
great.
Bush and his father. No, I agree. I think there is definitely like a certain niceness to a club in the sense of, you know it's not going to take super long to play. Usually the course is in good condition. And then usually the downside of that is the attitude. But if you remove the attitude part and you keep the pure golf and you keep the group of people who have a shared interest, but remove that douchiness, I think that's a really good formula.
Yep. Agreed.
Laid my eyes on the hottest guy I ever seen in my life.
I don't know if
yesterday.
we were going to talk about that or
We
not.
have to talk about it.
Here?
Yeah, and like you can't be as hot as this guy was.
Is this the Jake Owen guy?
No.
his name was Gino Prestigiacomo.
We didn't.
You remember
I'm gonna
him
give him
too.
a
Full name.
full on fucking shout out. He's the best looking guy I've ever laid eyes on. It was hard to even pay attention.
Do you know
I was
this guy?
swooning over him.
Bush,
Anyway-
you know this guy?
No,
I
I don't know who he is.
Who
I
was
don't know
this?
what his deal is, bro. He was walking around this place, and you could just tell he just dominated everything. Like all the women around, like they couldn't even. People were dropping papers. Like he walked by, and you couldn't even pay.
Look at
attention.
the stack of papers I got. Oh my God, there's
Dude,
Gino.
I hugged him like goodbye, and then I locked eyes with Trent behind his shoulder. And I'm like, this guy's the real deal. You know what I mean? Like this guy's the real deal. I wouldn't let him go.
Archie Diacono, what was his last name?
His name is Gino Prestigiacomo. And then he actually goes, when we having supper tonight instead of dinner? When we having supper? Just everything about him. Maybe it's the Long Island thing. Perfect tan, perfect hair. Who's from Long Island? I don't know. I'm saying for me, like what my
you met
type.
this guy, Trent?
Oh yeah,
What'd you
he
think?
played in the event yesterday.
Trent,
See,
what
I
do you
didn't.
think?
I don't even
He's
see-
gorgeous.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Bro,
He is.
the members and all the pros were like, we call him like he's a god. He's a Greek god. Never seen anything like it.
Right,
And
and
I'm getting married to a woman. Like that's just a fact.
yeah, it's happening soon.
Soon. And like
Could be a cover.
maybe after seeing him.
We were-
maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, Gino says, all right, wedding's off, you and me.
I think about it. I have a real long conversation.
No,
with
we
myself.
were. It's we gave him high fives to leave, and then Frank and I were like giggling.
We were giggling. It was crazy.
No, and I was like, Frankie, you want to take a picture of me? He's like, I can't even have that because then it's a comparison point.
No way.
Right. Like if I'm standing next to him and then your fiance's like, oh, how was the Rock
Don't
City
even
Scramble?
ask
And
me.
don't throw your phone into the fireplace. So yeah, no, he's a really good looking guy, really nice guy. But yeah, no, we talked about him for like 2 hours.
How old a guy was this guy?
Did you say he's about 30?
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, around there.
Right in your range.
Yeah.
I did not know we were going to talk about him on the show,
Did I?
but he's a good looking
We're
guy.
here again. It just maybe reminded me of him.
And then one of the members was like, yeah, he goes out there and shoots a 102, and we're like, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what he does. He's a great looking guy. He is. Gino, I hope this finds you well. You're doing well no matter what. You wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you're like, things are all right.
100%. 100%.
All electric. We like electric. We like electricity. We like not using fossil fuels.
Stopping for gas sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do it anymore.
Stinks.
Yeah.
Charge it up.
Beholden to gas prices, which is no bueno. You don't have
Then I
any
go and
control over.
I pick up Zins at the gas station.
Zimbabwe's.
Yeah,
So
It's giving you a reason.
that's what I'm saying.
I see.
Yeah.
you know we've been a part of the Chevy EV family, but we've got big news. The first ever all-electric Silverado is officially Barstool's most valuable truck. We got the chance to see this puppy, experience it. It's a game changer. The infotainment system on this bad boy is jaw-dropping, I would say.
Yes,
Really
that's
nice.
right.
It's a jaw-dropping experience. The amount of technology. It feels like you're at the movie theater with this puppy. Everything on there that you could imagine. It's the future brought to you now. It's all electric. It's the Silverado. Chevy's got an amazing line. Frankie went in there last week.
Yep.
All the different...
Getting emails like crazy from them. You know when you go into a dealership and now it's like, whoa.
They smell
Holy
blood.
smokes. We're talking about the bait has been bitten.
Yeah.
Good.
And they can feel me. They're reeling me in.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a Chevy and I'm
You're going
all in.
willingly.
I'm going in willingly.
Available?
I told them I'd be back, and they still keep hammering me with those emails. I said, I'll be back. I'm at the PGA Championship. I'll be back.
At Oak Hill. Available 400-mile range. GM estimated on a full charge. Tow up to 10,000 pounds of max towing. 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds with wow mode.
Vroom.
Head over to Chevy.com to learn more. That is the all-electric Silverado EV from Chevy, and I got a bunch of other great choices on there too. Go check out the Bolt EV, the Bolt EUV, the Blazer, the Equinox, all kinds of good stuff. That's Chevy.com to learn more. You guys were doing something different yesterday on the tee box, first tee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought some different vibes, which I think we're going to bring to a lot more of the classics. But we had some time to set up a nice little station on the first hole. And I just, I got a mic in my hand. We played some music, and we announced every single person that stepped up to the first tee. It's a shotgun start. Obviously, and everyone steps up to the first tee, but at some point you get up to the first tee. And, it just adds a little bit of flavor for the people playing. Something about getting your name announced at a golf event just makes it feel really cool. And
It does.
And, we're riffing with the guys. When they hit a bad shot, we're making fun of them. When they hit a good shot, we're going crazy like they just hit the greatest shot of their lives. And you could tell, even like when a group would come up and they'd be like, oh, these guys are members, we'd be like, oh, they're not going to really get the joke. Like, we're like saying jokes. They don't really know what foreplay is. They fucking loved it, man. Like, they were going, what was his
Shout out to our guy, Larry Axelrod.
Larry Axelrod. Just
He was like an old school guy coming out of the cart. We were like, all right, we're going to do this, but like he might be like, you guys are never doing this event again.
Yeah.
And then we announced Larry Axelrod, and he's dancing.
I'm
dude,
like, stepping up to the tee, Larry Axelrod. He's like, come on.
Well, this
like going to the fake crowd, and then he bombs one. He does a spin, and he sees the sword,
people love it, man.
and he looks at us. He's like, I fucking love it.
This is what you guys were talking about last week. Larry Axelrod 20 years ago was Gino. You know what I
Yes.
mean? The old guys they're just younger guys in older bodies.
Yeah.
Think about how you think of you're the exact same person that you were 20 years ago. So are they.
I think a lot
That's
of
so
those
true.
guys get a bad rap, like belonging to a club. You're a little bit older than the younger crews, and like you're getting up there to the tee box, and everyone's like crusty, and you're just like eggshells, walking on eggshells around them. But that was not these guys. They were fucking salt of the earth.
Yeah, it was a good crew.
And, so that was just fun.
That was the second time you had held the mic that day.
Oh,
First time you delivered a stirring rendition of the national anthem to the point where it was almost too good. Like, you've done it a few times before, and you've been very nervous every single time. The 20 minutes leading up to it, you're talking to me being like, I want to leave. I don't want to do this. I can't believe I said it on one podcast, and now I got to be the national anthem guy at these events. And the mistake that you were making early on at these events was you would be facing the crowd. There's like 120 guys ready to play golf, sitting in their carts, and now they're staring at you, waiting to sing the national anthem. So yesterday, we had you turn around, you looked at the flag, you had your back to the participants.
Huge.
And you delivered one of the all-time national anthems. Not even just for you, just overall. And you really let it loose. You kind of threw it out there more than you usually do.
Yeah.
A really, really good job on
I
that.
appreciate the kind words.
You got a ton of compliments yesterday.
Yeah, no, everyone was pretty stunned. The first couple times that I did it, I felt like I was keeping it within my body, if that makes any sense. Like I was almost speaking the national anthem because you're on the same level as everybody else. So like there's something about being on a stage that you feel like you can do a little bit more.
There's a reason everything is on a stage.
Right, but standing like same level, like sea level with everybody and just staring at their eyes. Most of the guys are taller than me. I'm like looking up at them, making eye contact, singing the national anthem. Like if I went to go hit a big note, I would always like kind of cower and kind of keep it within me because I'm like, I don't want to do that right now. I'm looking at this guy staring at me sing the national anthem. It's fucking awkward. So I had the idea of just turning my back to the people and looking at the flag, and it just let me like kind of forget that everyone was back there, and I was able to actually just like sing it. And
it was really good.
There were a couple times where I went for it and it kind of worked. Like, you know what I mean?
No voice cracks, no nothing.
When you start at a certain octave, the national anthem, there's no going back. So I started a little bit higher than I usually am, and I just couldn't. I knew the big moments were coming, where you're like, there's no not.
You were locked in now.
There's no not trying to hit this note right now. And I would actually be thinking about that, like it's coming up.
Yeah, you went free.
Yeah,
you really got up there,
right? And you just got to do it. Whatever, it was fun.
It was really good.
Yeah,
it was a really good rendition of the national anthem.
I was shaking, like my insides were shaking.
Yeah.
No matter how many podcasts we do, live shows, pup punk, I can do whatever. I feel very confident doing all those things. Something about singing just with no music or anything is by far the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life.
Singing is far more vulnerable than speaking in public.
Dude, crazy.
Sam Smith's parents used to make him sing for their family friends at events, and it was like a traumatic experience for him as a child.
It has to be.
Because
it has to be.
Dude, I felt like my spleen bouncing. Like everything on my insides were bouncing. I was super nervous.
But now you know you can do it, and you can do it really well. You were doing it before, but now
you're going to have to do it every time.
Yeah. Now it's really every
you're
time.
gonna have to
singing
do
in
it
a
really
shower.
well.
You just have like no like care about what comes out, and it usually comes out better than you think.
It worked. Whatever it was, it worked.
Yeah. I was very impressed. I think everybody was.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was a phenomenal event. This is a great place. This would be a very fun spot to come up and play in like a member guest and come up a day or two early, stay a day or two late, play in a few different courses around town. So amazing golf town. They're kind of talking about, they were doing it on live from last night. They were talking about golf towns, like cities and like big cities in the U.S. that are known as golf towns, golf cities. They mentioned like San Francisco. They mentioned here because that's kind of how it started. This is like a place that has a lot of DNA around golf.
Columbus.
Is Columbus like
Big
a big
time.
golf town?
Columbus
I guess
is where Jack Nicklaus is from, and they've got Muirfield, Double Eagle, Scioto, like a ton of great golf courses
Hamptons.
Yeah, that's just
money, but they were like they were talking about like cities, like a city that is like a golf city. That just has like the DNA of golf. I mean, I guess like San Francisco, they used to have big games back in the day of like 2 or 3 of the all-time greats like grew up playing in like these games, and they were talking about that a lot.
Great, like
here.
Public golf scene in San Francisco.
Yeah, just like it's like kind of a golf. And they were just essentially their whole point was there's not that many golf like cities in the U.S. that are known as like golf cities, right? And it almost kind of reminded me of like football like states in America, like Texas. Texas is like football.
Yep.
That's like a football state. And it's not that really good players don't come from all kinds of different states. They do, but like being known as like a golf city, I feel like is pretty damn rare. And they're essentially making the point that like Rochester is kind of a golf city with a lot of golf DNA, and Walter Hagen and like a lot of the courses around here. And Oak Hills this is its 7th major championship. It had a Ryder Cup. Like Donald Ross has his fingerprints all over this place, that it's just very golf city. So it was an interesting conversation for me to think about. But moving on, Rory McIlroy. I want to talk about his presser yesterday. Was it Tuesday presser?
Tuesday presser, Tuesday morning. A little emo.
So
upset.
Rory's had an interesting, 12 months where it was he said the dead in the water thing at the Players Championship a little over a year ago. He came out. He had a pretty damn good year. He almost won the 150th Open Championship at the Old Course. Ended up barely not getting it done. Had a phenomenal finish to the year. Wins the Tour Championship. Wins the FedEx Cup as like the guy when he's carrying the torch and the whole deal. Won again in the fall, I believe. And then, took kind of the winter off per usual.
Beat Patrick Reed to start the year, remember?
Came out, and then in Dubai, came out, started the year with a win, was looking really good. And then just kind of there was the Bay Hill, where at Bay Hill he almost won, was playing really well. And that same week he came out and everybody's talking about how he did like a 10-hour session on Tuesday of like player council and talking to everybody about the restructuring the tour. He kind of spearheaded restructuring the entire tour. And then just out of nowhere, missed the cut by $1 million at the Players Championship, missed the cut at the Masters tournament, skipped the RBC Heritage without really giving a reason, which was his second missed designated event that cost him $3 million because he didn't play Hawaii as well. You're only allowed to miss one. Came, played Quail Hollow, didn't play particularly well, played like fine, didn't really give a reason or anything, talk about the RBC Heritage. And then this is the first time we've seen him since. And his press conference was a completely different Rory McIlroy. Now, I'll say on this show, this has been one of the more pro Rory McIlroy shows probably in the history of entertainment. We love Rory on the show.
Yeah.
We could not have had more positive feedback after we spent the first time we ever spent with him, which was like a year and a half ago at TaylorMade Media Day. He walked a whole hole with us, spent an hour with us. He was fucking awesome. He was so down to earth. We saw him again at TaylorMade Media Day in October. Probably the second or third time we ever spent time with him. He was phenomenal. We love Rory. He's as candid as I've ever seen him. I have never really seen him like he was yesterday in the press conference at Oak Hill. He gave short one-word answers. He answered, I think it was Alan Shipnick's question about crystal ball with like, I don't have a crystal ball. And then he was like, well, if you could speculate. And he's like, no. And then that was it. And he did that a handful of times. He almost had, I was saying earlier, a little bit more of a Justin Thomas type tone.
There was an edge.
JT has a little edge in the pressers. I feel like he kind of looks at half the questioners, including Dan Rappaport, a lot. Like, this person's a fucking idiot. Like, you're an idiot for asking that before he even answers it. And almost had a little bit of that tone, which the whole thing kind of tells me that there's got to be more to the story. There's got to be something going on with Rory that leads me to want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think we came down a little bit hard on him probably, which we think was justified at the RBC Heritage, skipping that after basically talking about how important it was for the tour to get all the best players together and how much of an entertainment product it is and how key that is for the entertainment product going forward. Clearly something's going on with him for the last month or couple months. And yeah, that presser was unlike I've ever heard him probably in my whole life.
Yeah, I think despondent is the word that came to mind for me. He's usually such a jovial guy. He gives you these thoughtful answers. He makes everybody laugh. He kind of had I'm just here so I don't get fined energy yesterday.
Yeah.
It was like he didn't want to be up there. I think there's just in general a bit of like live fatigue going on.
Yeah.
Alan Shipnuck, who's writing a book about live, asked a bunch of players, if you could, that same question basically, if you could look into your crystal ball, and they were all basically like, I don't know, like I'm tired of talking about it. I think Rory has really, he's been almost the face of the whole feud, and I think the public is over it. I think the players are over it, and I think he's finally over it. And so they asked him yesterday, are you going to make a conscious decision to stop talking about live? And he just said, yeah. Because I think at this point, it's not, in the beginning he was getting praise a lot. There was a lot of praise because he was emerging as the good guy in this and talking about legacy and talking about history. Now I think after the Masters, this is now the second major where everyone's back. It's sort of normalized.
Yep.
I don't think there's as much anger kind of on both sides. There probably still is on the live side, but that's just internet trolls. I don't know if those are even real people.
Bots.
Could be bots, could be people in other countries.
Live golf rules.
I just think everyone's kind of over it.
Bots.
And I think he knows that if he goes up there and gives an answer about live, whereas before the response was going to be, this guy's amazing, this guy's the leader that we need. Now everyone, I think, would just roll their eyes. And so I think he's kind of just realizing that, like, maybe I'll just get back to being a professional golfer.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Also, maybe he's feeling a little betrayed by the media after the RBC Heritage stuff, where he did for a year give the best answers and had the right things to say and was jovial. And then you miss one event, a big event, the second one, and, John Rahm is there, so people are heaping praise on John, and then Rory becomes the bad guy for a week. You just you can do all of the right things, and still people are going to be like, well, you fucked this thing up, so we're going to be hard on you again.
The standards for him are higher than they probably are for anybody else because he's been so kind of, I don't want to say goody two shoes, but because he's been so outwardly positive that when he does anything or he talks so much that sometimes you contradict yourself, and people like to highlight that.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. I think he's worked so hard, and he likes to talk about how he's not on social media, but I don't believe him because he always makes comments. He knows exactly what's going on. I think he's tried so hard to be such a good guy and realizes that, yes, there are a ton of people and the vast majority of people who think that he is this great guy and this great leader, but there are also a lot of people who, like you said, nitpick things. And I think he's come to a realization that as much as I can try and as good as I can be on this microphone, I am one comment, one slip of the mouth, one decision away from being, everyone's enemy. And he's probably just done with it.
Well, look, there's what strikes me about it is that we're like less than a year removed from Rory winning the Canadian Open and literally leading his post-win presser or interview on the green with like, I just got my 20 whatever win, one more than somebody else. Like, he doesn't shy away from that stuff. He was welcoming it, leading it. He was the guy. So I find it very difficult to believe he just woke up one day and was like, I'm tired of this. So I think it's more than that. I definitely think it could be the media thing. I think that guys pay way more attention to the media than they lead on. I think it affects them more than we think it affects them in a very understandable way. Like, those people are talking about you as a person. And that's like, as a person, when you're reading articles, social media, when you're looking at like the way the tides are shifting on you, that affects you big time. So it could be as simple in our mind, but as complicated and big in Rory's mind as like he felt betrayed, whether that's from, just the RBC thing, whether it was a combination of like, and who knows, he probably knows it better than I do. Like, maybe it was a combination of people being hard on him after missing the cut of the Players, hard on him at not having what it takes to like step up to the plate at the Masters, hard on him that he didn't get it done at the Open, hard on him that he missed the RBC, and all that might have added up to like he kind of went over the edge one day of like, fuck them, like, I'm just not doing it anymore. So it could be that, but I find it a little difficult to think that like that same guy that had that edge, that like, that was those were edgy moments where he was like willing to be the guy, and he was literally pulling people aside to recruit them to stay, to pitch to them why we're going to do the designated events without cuts going forward, like why it's a good thing for the tour, why he's going to chirp Greg Norman, like, and then all of a sudden be like, are you done talking about Liv? Yep. And one word answer, like that, to me, that's a drastic shift.
I think something else is probably going on, and I don't want to speculate on what it might be, but when I hear you say that, I think you're right. It's hard to imagine that. Just look at the one action of skipping the RBC Heritage. He knew what that was going to bring. He knew he wasn't going to get the $3 million. He knew everyone was going to call him a hypocrite because he basically helped write the rules. So I don't think,
then broke them.
Yep. So I don't think that just missing the cut at the Masters would be enough for him to do that. I asked him this at Quill Hollow. I was like, was it anything? He's like, it's it's my business, basically. Yeah. And so there could well be something going on. Again, I'm not going to speculate what it is. When someone tells you that it's their business, that's a very polite way of saying, shut the fuck up, don't ask me.
Right.
So you let it go, and maybe in 6 months we'll find out what happened. The guy's, he's kept secrets before. No one knew his wife was pregnant until like a week before she had the baby. So he has a private life, and something could well be going on, or it could not be. But I think it's a time for grace, and it's a time to give the guy. It's hard being in the public eye all the time, every week.
A time for grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a real person, right?
Wow.
Like, we just look at him as Rory because he's a megastar. And yeah, who knows? Like, you just wake up one day and you're just like, fuck, this is just a lot. All of this is a lot. And you're a little short in some interviews, and it's like, what's wrong with this guy? And it might just be like, it's a lot, man. He's got a lot on his shoulders for sure.
And it could be, look, I know when we spent that day with Rory at TaylorMade Media for the first time a year and a half ago, I remember that like our biggest takeaway, and I remember what I said specifically was like, that man is the most impressive just person I've spent personal time with.
Yeah.
Just impressive. He's just impressive. He's clean, cool, jovial, unbelievably talented, unbelievably rich. He's down to earth. He gets it. He's not detached. He's not he's not above all of it. He gets it. He gets the jokes. He gets the pop culture, yet he's still above it on a social scale because he's Rory fucking McIlroy, and he's won 4 majors, and he's the guy. And that guy's just the most impressive guy. That hasn't changed for me at all.
No.
That guy's unbelievably impressive. This will probably be, just like you have a slump in the golf, this will be like, oh yeah, a little bit of a slump that Rory went through with like media or whatever. That to me doesn't affect anything. But if we're going to do a podcast twice a week and talk about golf for 3 hours, you got to talk about that. Something has clearly changed with him. And like Dan said, like, the guy deserves the privacy, deserves all of it. He also, I think, deserves some of the criticism that he got around skipping the RBC, and he knew he was going to get that. So it's not.
I think he would have probably agree with it.
Right, right. And he would probably agree with it himself. But it is just a very interesting, like, stark difference between just his tone in pressers and as the guy from Bay Hill, which is in fucking March, to now, which is May, which has been a couple months. That's it, which is nothing.
I would like to know how some of these guys, if they are actually off social media, but they do seem super plugged in, do they get like packets from their people? Like, here's kind of what's going on. Here's a quick PowerPoint.
Like a White House briefing.
Yeah, kind of. Just like, how do they, because some of them I do believe and some of them I don't believe, but the guys that I do believe but still seem super plugged in, like, how are they getting this information?
Yeah, I think they have an agent or a manager, and they might say, like, you know, what are people saying? And then I guess it's kind of on him to filter that information. I mean, if you look at a lot of these guys' social media profiles, it's pretty clearly not them on the ones and twos.
Yes.
So someone's in charge of that, and they're seeing everything. But I do think a lot of these guys who say that they're not on social media are definitely on social media.
I think they're on it with a burner that allows them to follow stuff. And I think that we all know now, growing up with it and being part of our job, how easy it is to just stay in tune with things.
Once a day.
It's really not hard. You're in an Uber or you're waiting for a friend for 5 minutes and you sit there. You're in the lobby of the hotel waiting for 45 seconds. You just out of habit pull up Twitter and the accounts that you follow. It might be us, golf.com, Golf Digest, Eamon Lynch, Brandel. And in that 45 seconds, you can see the narrative. And if you do that 10 times a day, which is really easy, you've spent less than 10 minutes on it total and you know what's going on.
True.
It's really not that fucking hard.
It's harder to not.
Right. Yeah. Right. And if you're on Instagram, and even if you're not the one posting, great job, like whatever, you're still seeing it. If you're on the Instagram, you're seeing what's on there. It's not hard to just see. And very quickly you understand. And Golf Digest, I think, does the quote cards big. And like we do some of that now too, of like quotes that people say. Like, I'm sure RBC Week, there was a picture of Rory McIlroy probably looking sad and like had a quote that was like, the guy that wrote the rules is now the one breaking them or something along that effect. And you just can't not see it. It's impossible not to see it, you know?
That's true. They always do find the sad photo, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
If they need it, when your life is public and you're media, you're out of there all the time, there's a picture of you, whether you were feeling that emotion at the time or not, there's a picture of you looking sad, mad, happy, interested, inquisitive. Yeah. They're all out there.
It's so funny. It's like Tiger shoots 68 and it's like a picture of him like, yeah, like this. And then Tiger shoots 74 and it's like,
or no, it's Tiger Woods has another surgery and it's literally him like,
with his hairline.
It's
and
always
he's
the
like,
hat up.
Jesus, looking like,
or some people years old. Some outlets are super rude and they'll have the one of him when he fell to his knees. It's like,
with the back. Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
That's low.
That's too low.
That's a low blow.
Dude, if you went back to
it should be.
That's from Liberty National.
Yeah.
If you went back to our blogs, we've used that picture probably 30 times on the cover photo.
We've talked about this before, but there are things that we have done, said, or represented in a blog that we didn't realize we would get this big.
Yeah.
Yep. That's just the way that it is, honestly. Yep. Like this is, and nothing crazy.
Harder to talk shit about people now when you see them all the time.
Much harder. And you realize, and what we've learned is that all these guys are just people. But when you're just so far out and you're just throwing stones and trying to make people laugh, you'll kind of say and post whatever. But, I just didn't think that I'm wearing PJ Championship merch right now. Yeah. Barstool co-branded. Yeah. I just didn't see that coming.
Never.
So some of the things that, we might have said in the past, it is what it is.
I used to write P.S. Fuck Billy Horschel at the end of all my golf blogs.
You guys made a video with him.
Yeah, he's a perfect example.
I love Billy Horschel. He's great.
Saw him today.
Oh,
yeah, we did.
Great.
Talked for a long time.
A couple glasses of scotch with him after we played him at the Players. Like, he couldn't be better. I love that guy.
That's always an interesting, it's been a fun ride to like people are always like, you're softer now. You guys just suck these guys' dicks that you meet them now. But like, I don't know. I think it's more fun to be like, you were one side of it, now you're the other. I don't know. People might not find that as interesting, but that's just the way that it is.
Imagine if that was literally true if we sucked their dicks every time we saw
it. It is true.
That'd be like such a crazy. That's like what we had to do to get access.
I don't know how to respond to that, but it's just been an interesting journey.
Frankie would love that.
Wait, can you repeat it?
That's all right. No, that's all right. Frankie hasn't been sleeping great.
Frankie's still thinking about Gino.
I was just thinking. No, I got an update about my flight, and I was looking at it. What happened?
No, we were just saying if in order to get on these guys' good side, if all it took was to suck their dicks, I feel like you would be in.
Because people say that that's what we do, metaphorically.
Matt, it's just a metaphor.
We can move on. It's
just a metaphor.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that.
Dude, I can't get a text message to go through in here. What's with Rochester Internet?
We're in
You
the
don't have a
sticks,
tower?
man. We're in the sticks.
You don't have a tower out here?
I'm not even close to the sticks.
You're in the sticks, dude.
We are
I
not in the
see
sticks.
There's sticks everywhere.
Those are called trees.
Yeah,
and
it's the
they're just
sticks.
not.
The sticks, dude.
Yeah, we're not on the sticks.
Compared
Trees
to the big
trees are
old
big
concrete
sticks.
jungle, this is the sticks.
I'll
dude.
take you to the sticks. This ain't the sticks.
I don't want to go to the sticks with you.
I don't want to go anywhere with you.
I know you don't.
There is a bush.
I haven't
wrap
been sleeping well. I don't know what's been going on. 2 nights in a row. I don't know if it was just the hotel. I don't know what happened. I couldn't sleep. That's a bad feeling.
Oh my gosh.
Like you fall asleep
Sucks.
and then you wake up and you're like, man, I definitely am not sleeping well right now. Let me look at the
You
phone
do the
and see
math
what
on
time
how
it
many
is.
hours you're gonna get.
And like you're looking at the time, and I'm thinking like it's got to be at least like 5 a.m. and it was like 1:28 a.m. I'm like, no way. Go back to sleep. Do it again. I'm like, all right, it's got to be like 6 a.m. I definitely had to have gotten good sleep. 2:30, like 30 or 40 minutes was going by each time.
You know what would help with that? Marijuana.
marijuana.
I will say
I
though,
don't usually have that issue. That's the
There's
reason.
some signs this week.
I will say I have a thing going on in my life for the last like year where I can't sleep past 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter when I go
Go
to
to bed
bed
at 3 in the morning drunk.
Go to
or-
bed at 3, wake up at 7. It's borderline ruining my life.
2 weeks ago, I slept until like 11:30 on a Saturday. It was amazing.
When I wake up at 7:20 or whatever, I could run. I could sprint. I'm just wide awake. It's very strange, and I hate it. I hate every second of it.
So I had 2 nights ago. We went to bed at like 9:50.
Yeah.
And sorry, I went to bed at about 10:50, and I woke up at like 9 a.m.
Dude.
It was insane.
And
it was one of those,
It's a slumber.
Frankie, I literally had the opposite of you. I woke up thinking, I was like, it's got to be 3 or 4 in the morning. And I looked, and it was like 8:55. I was like, what?
the things I would do to be able to do that right now,
I hadn't done that in
I'm tired.
forever.
it's,
You got to be tired.
yeah.
Barstool Sportsbook is offering a $1,000 bonus for new players. If your first bet loses, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Download and create an account today. Use the code FORE, F-O-R-E, to unlock your $1,000 bonus. Be sure to use code FORE to unlock your $1,000 bonus. We got the For the Cut bet is back this week. I picked Tommy Fleetwood, I believe.
Yeah, I picked Chris Kirk.
I picked Bryson.
Frankie.
Picked Adam Scott.
Yep. That's right.
Did we hit last week?
We did
We
hit
did.
last
Sure
week.
did.
We're on a winning streak.
So we've hit like 4 times this year.
We
out
have
of
hit 4
10,
times.
12
I think that
or
was
something.
probably more than that, but we hit 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
Out of 5 times? No. We're hot. We're 1 for our last 1.
Yep.
So we're picking up momentum. If you've seen, we're streaky in the For the Cut bet. So that should tell you that, it's like when you're at a roulette, which you can play games, by the way, Barstool Sportsbook, go check that thing out. It's like when you're at the roulette table, you see, 6 reds in a row, and then you see that first black. Might want to jump on. 'Cause you got
2's a winning streak, and it's happened before.
It's happened many times before. So, I talk in this show about who I like this week. A couple different. We get into the Jägermeister, Stefan Jaeger, who I got him top 30 at plus 300, I believe, this week. He's had some great finishes. Barstool Sportsbook. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And again, use that code FORE to unlock your $1,000 bonus on the Barstool Sportsbook. The other thing I want to talk about is Jason Day saying, so Jason Day just won. Hurrah. We were all going crazy. Plus 700 I had him at. Patted my bankroll nicely going to the PGA Championship, which I'm very excited for, and the final 2 rounds of the NHL playoffs, which I'm very excited for. He got here, gave a presser today. He said he's not going to play a single hole at Oak Hill until Thursday's tournament starts.
Feels crazy. Feels like a crazy thing to do.
That's
He didn't play yesterday or today?
No.
He's not playing a single hole.
He said he wants to stay fresh mentally.
I love it. We were talking about this before.
No.
I love it.
That's crazy.
I like it as an experiment. Let's see how he does.
Yeah.
He said he's done it before.
He said he's done it before, which is equally crazy. I don't know. Whenever I play a tournament and I don't play well, that's my first thing. It's like, I didn't play a practice round. So, what can you really expect?
Yeah.
I don't know how you play a major championship. You don't know how the ball's coming out of the rough. You don't know how far a hole is playing downhill. It's just like, I feel like you're here. What else are you going to be doing for the next 36?
Also, don't even take it that seriously. Just go out there and just hit balls.
Yeah,
on the
if you don't
course
want to hit it in the
like,
rough, just hit a couple chips, do something.
I can't believe it.
We saw him chipping on the practice range today. It's not playing, but he's not out there. It's not like he's just sitting in his hotel room staring. He's
You
still
gotta play the course.
I don't
Feels
think
elementary.
so, but I'm saying
gotta play it.
Take Wednesday off.
I would have if I were a player, I would not have played today. It's so cold out there. But I'm excited to watch it just to see how he plays. That's going to be very interesting.
He was like, yeah, the yardage book's really good. So I guess that's all you need.
That's not enough for me, dude.
Playing it on 2K. He's ready to go.
I took him top 10 plus 300 before I knew this nonsense where he's not even playing the golf tournament.
Yeah, that press conference would move the line, I think.
Probably has.
I haven't placed the bet yet because I'm going to do it when we fly to Chicago tonight. When I fly to St. Louis tonight, layover in Chicago, I'm going to place that wager. So hopefully that changes the odds. Hopefully those odds makers are listening to that preposterous Jason Day interview. But that, like you said, I mean, you got to just see how bouncy are the greens. How
But okay, how about this? If he plays well,
I was going to say, imagine he wins
practice rounds.
Imagine he wins a tournament and just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is just not a thing anymore.
Or he just ruins. Now there's nobody out there playing practice rounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Leading up to the tournament, it's just like everybody used to play practice rounds. Then Jason Day won in Rochester, and now nobody's out there anymore.
He might not be playing them because they're so slow.
We've heard some rumblings that the practice rounds are slow,
like
we heard 3.5 hours.
Rumblings that if people think that the actual golf is too slow, that they wouldn't believe the practice.
It's like
rounds.
3.5 hours for 9 holes.
That's what they said.
They're dropping balls everywhere, and if they don't
Putting
like a
from every
drive,
single angle.
it's not fast.
Jason Day's playing 0 minutes of practice rounds.
Right.
0 minutes. These guys are taking 3.5 hours to play 9 holes.
Maybe he doesn't want to wait either. He's just like, I can't go out there for.
You know what?
3.5
I'm
hours.
just so rooting for him to just win now.
I know.
Oh yeah, that's going to
You're
be
right.
my rooting interest for sure.
Everybody
That'll
would just
clear-
fly in Wednesday night.
Right. That'll change the landscape of golf for the better.
He also said in his press conference today that when Tiger was in the depths of his chipping yips in, like, do you remember 2015 or 2016? He invited Jason Day over to his house because Jason Day was like chipping unbelievably well. And Jason Day basically like taught him how to chip again.
Wow.
And he said that he learned more from the experience from Tiger than Tiger actually learned from him. And Tiger was working with Chris Como at the time. And then Jason Day met Chris Como, was like, that guy's fucking really smart. And now they're working together. So cool little tidbit from the
That
press
is a
conference.
cool little tidbit.
I have a friend, Aaron Viggy, we call him, who he always tells a story that in 2015, I think it was, where he went to the Waste Management.
Oh, that was ugly.
And that was when Tiger, and he's like, one time we ever got to see Tiger Woods in person, and he's blading chips over the green.
He's like fatting him and bleeding.
It's like the only time I ever got to see him. And
It's
he
like
just
hard to
couldn't hit the
believe.
green.
Couldn't do it.
He could not hit a
Hard
chip.
to believe that he went through that.
He could not hit a chip square for like 5 months.
He couldn't even make contact. Dude. He was blading him over the green.
He was chili dipping them too.
Oh, I
He'd be like
remember.
at the bottom of a slope and hit one, and it would go up 2 feet.
Dude, he shot like 85 at the Phoenix Open.
It's not even
Blading
that
shots
hard.
over the
Not
green.
even that
What was
hard of
the
a golf
clip?
course.
What was the clip? He was giving a clinic, or they were opening a Tiger golf course, and it was a shot over water.
I think it was Blue Jack. I think it was in
3?
Houston when we did it with
Yeah,
Sawyer.
I think
He
it
hit
was.
like 3 in a
Dude, he
row.
hit 3 wedges in a row into the water.
water, and everyone's just like, "Ooh!"
It was like a ribbon cutting, and he was like, "Yeah, now the best player of all time." It was like an 85-yard shot, and he just chili dipped 3 into the water.
Those are dark times.
There
man.
were some really dark times. Like even now, it's hard watching him walk, but he can hit a 50-yard pitch.
Yeah,
But back then,
because
it was,
a lot of guys don't get out of that.
Yeah.
it's just kind of
Dude.
over.
It really shows you the ups and downs of life. Like, that had to be the most humiliating thing in the world. And then he comes back and 4 years later wins the Masters tournament.
chips very well. Chipped very well.
Chipped
that week.
very well.
Dude, I remember thinking, because when he blocked that 8-iron as his approach shot on the 72nd
Yeah,
hole
like,
with
he's gonna
that,
do it again.
I'm like, well, now he's got a chip that literally not that long ago, he couldn't get this anywhere near the green.
No.
And if he doesn't get this on the green, he's just going to lose the Masters.
Yeah.
That would have been a.
And he pitched it right into that hill perfectly and was like, yeah, I can handle that. I was like, I mean, you couldn't for a while. You just couldn't.
What a life. We talk about it all the time, but what a life.
What a life.
Up and
200
down,
years
and
that guy's
way
lived.
up there and way down there, all the time.
I want to talk about a guy who's got a life right now that caught my eye today on the driving range in the practice facility. Aaron Rye.
Yeah.
I gotta talk about this guy.
Yeah.
The 2 gloves.
I gotta talk about what I saw on the range today, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. It's one of the more unique things I've ever seen in my entire life. Shows up carrying his own bag. He's the most humble guy
Ever.
on tour.
Yeah.
He's got the iron
covers.
covers. He's got the whole story. He never was able to afford golf clubs, so when he finally got them, he wanted to take care of them. He walks up to this range holding his own bag. I believe it's his mother that's with him. Have you ever seen his crew that he walks with? I think it's
Well, his coaches are the Me and My Golf guys from Taylor. You know the TaylorMade guys, the YouTube guys. They're like his coaches are like YouTubers.
so his coaches are YouTubers. I think he had his mother out there holding a bucket of balls. and I think it's either his significant other or his sister or his wife. I don't know who else, but they're all just standing around him. Now, this is the PGA Championship. This is a major, right? So at some point, this guy is like a really good professional golfer, and that usually comes with a little bit of a swagger or like, right?
Ace to the 17th hole at Sawgrass.
Yeah, you see these guys walk up. Like we watched Tommy Fleetwood. He's holding the bucket of balls. His bag's already on the driving range waiting for him. He's dapping people up. Aaron Rodgers walked up with his family, from what I could see, and they stood over every single one of his chips, and they threw the ball down into the rough, and they all analyzed how deep it would go. The mom, everyone is looking, and okay, now chip the ball, and he would chip the ball, and then
they went nuts.
And then they'd watch it, and then they'd kind of like go and say and point here, like chip right here, and then like the mom would throw the ball down, and then he'd like really get into the chipping.
Was he 3 years old?
It was crazy. And I know it's like humble, it's cute, and I just couldn't keep my eyes off it.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it in professional sports.
What does Aaron Rodgers miss the cut on the Barstool Sports?
Dude, maybe to win. Like maybe that's just his
Those are the
juice.
two bets I'm going to put in. One, for him to miss the cut. The other one to
Trent
win.
was watching it with me. It's stunning.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's the complete opposite of what we've ever said with like Patrick Reed and his wife like walking across the green like with their high heels on. It's the complete opposite of it.
Punching holes in the green.
It's kind of similar in like how drastically different it is from every single other person that's out there.
Yeah, you watch like Patrick Cantlay, or you watch someone else was Jason Day, and there's like 6 very serious grown men behind them watching them hit balls.
And then there was one other guy out there with him who was getting
event.
Yeah.
With, like,
who was getting balls from him, and he was wearing a leather jacket.
He was wearing a leather jacket,
which was cool,
with a slick back ponytail hair, and he was just standing there like this, watching every single chip he did. It was one of the more bizarre things I've ever seen in my. His mom was tossing balls for him. I looked up. This is the PGA Championship, and that's listen. It's fucking adorable and it's awesome. It's great. He's humble as fuck.
Yeah,
but. I just like can't imagine. I just was wondering if one of his competitors just like saw his crew walking around. It's just like, yeah, like that's just like Aaron Rodgers. It's just like what he does. You know, it's just like
that's another one. I guess we'll see how he performs
for sure. If he plays, I'm starring his name on the score app.
Either you're not playing practice rounds. Maybe you're bringing your mom around. Maybe it's just like who knows. It takes
You're
all
laughing
kinds
because you saw it too, Alex. You couldn't keep your eyes off it. You really couldn't.
It takes all kinds. So we'll see.
Yeah, I had to.
All types of different warm-ups.
Yeah, it was a warm-up, and I'm guessing that he stops that at Wednesday. You know?
Yeah, you think it'll just be him in the caddy?
If they're out there on Friday, Saturday,
it's a problem,
right?
Could be.
You think they're out there pre-round holding his clubs?
Did he not have a caddy?
I didn't see. I don't know.
Nobody appeared to be his caddy.
Okay.
What's Aaron Rodgers?
They're all
deal?
his caddy.
He's a British guy who got his card through finals. Nice guy. Comes from like super working class family.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, just a very like humble, nice boy.
How old the guys, Aaron Rodgers?
My age, right? 28, 20, 29, 27.
Interesting. I gotta learn more about this cat.
Yeah, 2 gloves and iron covers. So aesthetics are not really.
He's not a swagger guy.
He's not really into the swagger.
Nor does he have to be. It was just such a wild, drastic difference from quite literally everything I've ever seen in professional sports, to the point where it's like maybe that's just his thing and that's gonna like catch on. You know,
keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family. Make it a family event.
He's like Tony Finau.
Yeah,
but even Tony Finau
Tony's got
do
a
that.
coach and a caddy, and he's very buttoned up.
Well,
when they were standing on the green saying, "Here's your landing spot," that's where I was like, something's going on over there.
She like doesn't play golf. She's just like, look, chip it over there.
She's like, I think this is a good spot. He'd
be a great guy to have on the show.
He'd be a fantastic guy to have on the show.
All right, we'll make it happen. I'm
trying to think
he's just gonna kill. He's gonna kill that like that funny conversation with just the most kindness of all time.
Yeah,
he's gonna love having them out there.
Yeah,
and you're gonna be like, of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Of course, I would love all of my family out there. I want them sitting right next to me right now.
Yeah.
Is Lee Westwood's like wife still caddy for him?
I think so.
Live Golf Tour.
Sometimes it's his wife. Sometimes he's his son in there. He kind of moves it around.
Jack, 86 Masters, had his son out there.
Yeah,
caddying for him.
I would do it.
Phil.
Joey McComa's son got a victory this week, right? Or last week?
Did Hagee win?
No,
he caddied
he's
on
caddying for Stricker.
Stricker on the Champions Tour.
Yeah.
I thought he was caddying for Nelly Korda last week.
No, Joe LaCava Jr.
Oh, Junior was on Stricker's
Junior was
bag?
on Stricker's bag. Got a win.
Oh, sick. Good for him. I know he's been caddying for Brandon Hagee on the Corn Ferry Tour who's doing all right. I don't think he's like in position to get his card
Joey
yet.
Jr. texted me and was like, your Corn Ferry event that's coming up, all the guys are jacked up, can't wait
Yeah.
to be there. So I
Yeah.
guess he's going to be there for that.
Yeah, he's caddying for Brandon that week.
Who'll be a great guy to highlight during our broadcast, Joey Jr.
Fuck yeah. Joey Jr. had so he caddied at Wingfoot for a couple years. I believe obviously his father helped him get that gig. And then Heggie on the Corn Ferry Tour, and then jumped over. He obviously did Charlie Woods for 2 or 3 years in a row at the PNC.
Yep.
And then now that was a major, right? The PGA senior major or whatever, right?
I don't think it was. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
I think that was a senior fellas major.
I'm gonna look it up.
I couldn't look shit up. I got no service. This
Yeah,
town stinks.
I probably won't get service either.
Joey LaCava won his first tournament as a caddy alongside Steve Stricker at the Regents Tradition Tournament on the PGA Tour Champions.
That does sound like a major.
I think that's one of their majors.
Regents Tradition.
Are they
I
like
think
the LPGA? They do
I think
5
they have
majors?
5. I think
Okay.
that's one of them.
All
Cut
right.
this if we're
Official
wrong.
major championship of the PGA Tour champions.
Come
There you
on.
go. Wow, Joey Jr.
All
Hoover,
right.
Alabama. Greystone Golf and Country Club.
So Stricker's caddy is just the LaCava family.
The LaCava family. Right. Whichever one you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that what's that paycheck look like?
I don't know, but he's also he's following in Daddy's footsteps when he wears his favorite team's hat.
Yeah.
Joey always wears a Ranger hat or a Giants hat, and Joey Jr. was wearing a nice big New York Yankees hat for the championship.
Just a matter of
Sunday.
time until he's on a big PGA Tour bag, it feels
Think
like.
so?
Could be Brandon Hagee. I'm not saying Brandon Hagee's not the guy, but I feel like you got a last name like that. You won a major championship, albeit with the PGA Tour champions, but you got the pedigree. He's a cool kid. He's going to be out
Is
here.
Stuart Stink's son still on
No.
anybody's bag?
He went to go work for Delta, I believe.
For what?
For
Delta-
Delta
Oh, okay.
Airlines. Yeah, he had like
Okay.
a job, and Stewart, I think they were doing it for a couple years, and I think he like got over it. And
They got a win together, didn't
They
they?
did get a win together. They won in Napa, I believe.
Working for Delta Airlines, like a flight attendant?
No, I don't think. I think in the head office.
There was a guy that we met yesterday during the Rock City Scramble that I had to announce, and he was a former assistant pro here. I'm going to forget his name. I can't remember.
I can picture him, but yeah.
Oh, it was. Remember, I mispronounced his last name. Gossage. I said Gossage. I think his name is Gossage.
Okay.
And he was a pro, and then he just gave up golf, and now he does heart surgery or something.
He is the guy who, when surgeons do heart surgery, he stops the heart
yeah.
and keeps the person alive. Doctor goes
Yeah.
in there, surgeon goes in there, fixes it up, and then the doctor's like, kick that sucker back on.
He goes from folding shirts in the pro shop to
Yes.
doing that.
changing
Still
grips
pipes
to
the ball.
changing hearts.
Pipes the ball.
It's a big
And then stepped up
it's
to
a
the
big
first
job,
tee.
dude.
I said all this on the mic.
Yeah.
And he just piped a drive with a nice fucking draw into the wind.
There were a couple
And he
good
just-
players
He
yesterday.
turned around and he's like, as if I couldn't just
I can
still do that.
it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sick.
Golf's still good to me.
Stop. So the heart stops, but they have to put something in you probably that
Yeah, it's a
keeps your
machine,
pumping
dude.
your fake heart basically.
Yeah, I think so.
How crazy is that? How crazy is heart transplants?
They just take you.
Take your heart out.
dude.
At one point, your heart is beating in somebody's hand, and they put it into a tray. Get rid of it.
Yeah, because that one stinks, and they put
and
a
they
new
just
one
put
in
a
there.
new one in of someone that had passed away minutes before.
Mm-hmm.
It's always from a cadaver. I guess it has to
Seconds
be.
before.
Really?
I think they passed away next to you, there.
What?
Ooh.
Right?
I don't
within
know.
Minutes.
How do they time that?
Well,
I
no,
Maybe
don't
what
they
if
have time,
they-
but that person had to have just died.
Yeah.
Well, pretty recent, but
Yeah.
what if they die in like a car accident? I think that's fine. I think they take that heart right out of you and bring
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's
right
what you
over.
have on your like when you're
Yep.
organ
Organ donor.
They put it in like a Yeti cooler. They bring it right over.
I've seen Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
Fly it right in.
Right.
They're waiting on the roof.
And they keep going. Did Bill Clinton have like a
Heart transplant?
No, he had like a quadruple bypass or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heart transplant, when they first did that, had to have been the greatest achievement in human history. When they literally took
first
the
time they
heart
did it?
out of somebody
It doesn't get any
and
better
brought
than
it
that.
into another
Yeah.
person, and then it just worked.
I think I saw.
Dude, they're like
I would love to watch a documentary on
they're
that.
like it worked.
How many
He's
times
alive.
did it
He's
not?
alive.
How many times did it not work?
A
Yeah.
bunch. I think I'm making this up, but I might not be. I feel like I saw a 60 Minutes type of report on a heart transplant where the heart that was given, the person started to take on the personality traits.
I don't want to deal with that.
Okay, of the person
No way.
who they were given, who's the heart.
You sound like you're from just a different just a different accent starts coming out.
And I want to
not-
be clear that there's a real chance I'm making that up.
Wait,
and
that can't be. The heart
Listen,
is.
who knows,
Come
man?
on, really?
maybe it's
Maybe it's placebo.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's the soul. Maybe it's placebo.
Yeah.
And maybe I made it up.
Definite possibility.
Can't be clear.
Upcoming race, NASCAR All-Star Race. It's North Wilkesboro Speedway, May 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on FS1. Frank Borelli III has been to a handful of NASCAR races.
Talladega. I've been to Daytona. Bristol. I mean, the list goes on and on. I love NASCAR events. I love watching them on TV. You sit back. You know, if you don't know what's going on, it's obviously a lot. But once you start to really see how impressive it is, all the analytics that go into all these cars, every single ounce of fuel, these guys are telling these guys from the top deck, like these bird's eye view marshals of their teams, they're telling the driver, you have to make a split decision right now. This guy's coming on your right. You have this amount of fuel left. You have to hit the gas right now. If you don't take it, we're not going to win. It's that quick of a fucking decision. It's awesome when you really see the nuts and bolts of it. It's a great sport.
I don't know if they want us to promote this, but you also might see people punch each other in the face.
Yeah, that's been happening.
After races, you see guys go after each other, and it is electric.
Oh yeah, I did see that video. He's like, "You don't want this. Don't do this. Stop." And then he just punches him in the face.
Didn't he punch somebody?
Yeah, I think he punched a couple people.
So he immediately regretted it.
One of the greatest guests we ever had on the show, Michael Waltrip.
Crazy.
He was so good.
NASCAR guy. NASCAR returns to one of its original tracks, 75th anniversary of NASCAR, Chicago Street Race, also July 2nd, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So reminder, All-Star Race, May 21st at 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1.
Talked a lot about death today on the driving range at the PGA Championship.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Talked a pretty good amount about it.
Good amount.
Oh, yeah, the three of us did.
We did.
Yeah.
I was just like,
yeah.
I sometimes think about that moment right before, like if you're conscious right before you die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're healthy. Let's say, like I said, a nuclear bomb comes down. You see the mushroom cloud coming at you, and you're like nothing else is happening. You're just staring at this thing. That moment of like I'm about to die has to be fucking wild.
I think you're probably like so much like adrenaline and oxytocin going through your body that you would feel like really high.
Well, I was telling them that I saw a TikTok that I can't believe we're talking about this again. That like your brain uses past experience to guide you forward, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're in a situation that you've been in before, your brain goes back to it and it kind of teaches you how to react this time. And what they say when you have a near-death experience or right before you die, your whole life flashes before you, right?
So that's not just like a saying, that's a thing?
Well, that's what they're saying. It's saying your brain is searching for a reference point, but you're doing something that you've never done before.
Yeah.
So it's just flipping through. It's going through all the files. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And there's nothing, but it shows you everything because you're like, I don't have an answer.
Why that doesn't happen when you do something you've never done before in any walk of life?
It's a TikTok, so it might not be real. But
like when I go like cross country skiing, why don't I just like file through everything? My brain's like, we haven't done this before.
When do you go? Have you ever been cross country
No.
skiing? Yeah.
That's what I'm
Maybe you
saying.
should try it.
Maybe I'll see all the flashes of light.
maybe.
Yeah, it's scary.
See, I think I'm just a believer of when you die, lights out forever, and you just turn into molecules and dust,
Pixie
and like
dust.
yeah, stardust,
You
and
just
whatever.
go into like the trees.
And then it just kind of, it just floats around. It
Circle
goes
of
all
life.
different directions, and then it becomes a part of a
become
new
a
life
mushroom.
eventually.
A lot of people think you become a mushroom.
Well, I watched that documentary
Yeah.
where the mushrooms eat everything.
Yeah. They burn, like, basically, they have this one pile of ash, and they just left it there, and then just mushrooms came out of it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also think like that, right? Like I think that almost every part of like me was a part of a different like life form at some point.
I don't know what I
Isn't that
think.
Buddhism a little bit?
But I don't mean like spiritually. I mean
Right.
physically. Like the physical components of
Yes.
me, the atoms and all that are literally from like something that was a different life form. At some point became dirt, became sky, became part of the air, and then became another person.
I believe
which is
all
now
the
me.
science parts. I definitely am like on that side because I try and become a rational thinker with things. But I told you guys on the driving range of the PGA Championship here at Oak Hill is that there's just something about the mind and consciousness and dreams and fears and like guilt and all those feelings that makes us feel more than just atoms that like are born, evolve. Like it feels more than evolution. It feels more than like apes to cavemen to humans. it's like there's something different there. There's like a connection. You see a pair of titties, you're like, I like that. Like there's something different.
See a hot guy and
See
like
Gino Prestigiacomo, you're like, I like that. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like when everything ends, like where does that go? Like is that just like a fragment of who we are? Is that just like a side gig, you know, of just like humanity? If just it just goes away with it, or is that like
I think it just goes
brought on to something else? You know,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I'm at a point in my life where I don't know how I feel about it, because throughout
Makes
certain
me
points
think,
of my
though.
life, I've had stronger opinions about it, but now I don't.
I'm with you. I used to be kind of very cold, like we come from dust, we
Same.
return to dust, and now it's like,
I don't think that's cold. I think it's rational.
yeah,
Can
rational,
be rational,
is one word.
but also there's just too much stuff.
There's too much warmth in life.
There's just
Buddy, I think one asteroid hits, all gone forever. Gone.
yeah.
It could be.
Gone.
I also used to be at a point where I
rationally
would.
thinking like that moment, a healthy person staring at a mushroom cloud coming at him. It's almost more irrational to think that like your brain just like blanks out right there. Like I almost think that there's like a lingering thing right after it. Like you know what I mean? That
Like
would
a
make
ghost?
me feel just like that moment right after. It's just like something's got to kind of like float away. You just think it's just done. You don't even
Done.
know.
Well,
So you think if like you got a bullet in the head, it's like that. It's just
you don't think like
darkness.
there's like a
Instantly, lights
You
out,
don't think your
gone.
brain. You don't
No,
think
no.
your mind's like holy shit.
No.
but listen, we talked about this too on the
I don't
range.
think it has
where-
a chance to. It's gone. Literally, the physical
But listen.
components that make it be like, oh shit, have been eliminated. It's over.
But listen, we talked about this in the range too, where
The range of the PGA Championship, by the way, golf tournament.
Yeah, pick a religion, whichever one. I'm not picking on one or the other. Where
No, pick
you,
on it.
You'll read whatever
Go
book
after the
or
Pope.
whatever
Just say
scripture, and you know there's all these crazy stories. But then and you're like, that sounds made up. But then think about what's actually going on. All the molecules and atoms and you know the evolution of it all. That's even more magic.
Crazy.
If that was in a book, you'd be like, that sounds crazy.
There's a burning ball of gas that's just in the sky right now, and it's shooting out all these rays of things that we can't see, and we're just like warm. And all of it's fucking weird. You know what I mean? It's hard to believe. A lot of it's hard to believe, and all of it is like we just believe science.
Both sides can make you feel like the other side is completely ludicrous.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's like,
When
why
I
don't
sit
they
there,
shit
when
out
I
another
tell them
monkey
about-
today?
If I
Why
tell
does a
like
monkey
a
shit out
really
a human
religious
today?
person about like another galaxy we think we're gonna find, there's like, well, you sound insane. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? We're sending a little tube out of our
In
galaxy.
the place
and
that
we're
I'm
gonna
in
find
now
it.
with it, I feel much more comfortable. Just kind of like, I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
That's
Funny,
way
like,
better.
I also on the galaxy thing, I have nothing that I've ever witnessed, seen, or calculated that convinces me that that galaxy theory is correct.
Correct.
Like that's just people that society has told me are smart that are like, no, yeah, that's just what it is.
Well, I watched
You're
that
like-
infinity thing,
Yeah.
and they were talking about how by that theory, there's a person who's exactly like you,
Right.
who's one more gray
Yeah.
hair than you, and
Yes.
then there's with two more gray. That's
Yes.
the theory of infinity. And it
Yes.
blew my mind.
Whose leg is crossed the other way.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right.
And then some people think that dreams is like you kind of like seeing their. It's like your brain is kind of like intermingling with what they're thinking. Like you're seeing little glimpses of what they went through.
Yeah.
Like your
What a
dream,
go-
is,
what
your
a-
dream is just kind of like intercepting that.
Yeah.
Because dreams really are just like sometimes they feel really real,
Yeah.
really real, and something's just a little bit off.
They always feel real.
That's always
You're with like you're a different crew. You're with a different crew, or like
It's
you're
like 2
doing
years
something-
ago.
Like I'm playing on the Islanders, not watching them.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
will
you're just
say-
like, wow, that felt fucking real.
That's the weirdest. The weirdest thing about dreams is everything could be backwards. Like heads could be on backwards, and when you're in it, you don't think about that head's on backwards. You think it's normal. So what is that any different in the waking state?
Right.
All right. So
What do you guys like this week? We did talk about all of that while John Rahm was hitting power fades off the fucking
Yeah. How do you
tee.
look?
He's just, bro, he stands so close to the ball when he
So
drives
close.
it. It's fucking crazy, and he just hits those power bombs, man.
Yeah, he hits those peel like hit it left, peel it, missiles.
Yeah. Not
Missiles.
spinning though. It's like
No.
tumbling.
Yeah,
yes.
tumbles.
he's just right now. It's flow state.
You know who's got one of the best ball flights right now is fucking Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a tight little draw.
Oh my god, it's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I was trying to. I was watching him just launch drivers. I was trying to picture like playing him in a match. How like intimidating it would be to watch that guy tee off.
It's tight.
It is an aggressive swing, and it's fluid, and the ball jumps off his fucking club face.
He hits it a mile.
Dude,
he does.
I was
And
like,
it's
we
firm.
were standing as close as you would to someone if they're teeing off with you on a tee box, and I was like, that would make me fucking shrivel up into a ball if I had to try and face him
Over and over and over again.
over
He
and
does
over
that
again
the whole day.
And then he takes out. He had a is it flight scope, the one that goes on the side?
Mm-hmm.
He had both.
He had both and
Yeah.
a TrackMan. It's like, and he's taking the data from both of them after each drive.
Yeah.
Filming
with a
his
pencil,
swing, the whole
with a
thing.
pencil and fucking paper.
Yep.
What is he doing?
Of every drive he's hitting.
and it's on the big screen on the TrackMan like jumbotron thing.
And here we are out there just guessing, swing after swing.
Yeah.
It felt okay.
But like, even amongst those pros, John Rahm says he likes to hear his yardages within fives, like a 75 meters, 70 meters,
right.
and Fitzpatrick likes to know to the inch.
Millimeter.
Different ways to do it.
Yeah,
No right answer.
I like Rahm's way, by the way. I think that's what super athletic
Yeah.
and like reactionary. I love that.
Feel it
It's-
out a little bit.
Feel it.
Yeah.
Like be an athlete. Hit it 70 yards.
I
Yeah.
like windows or like gaps, sort of just like put it near there, and we're going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, it's also funny, like I just don't even know how far my clubs go, really. You know?
Well, when you win the U.S. Open at the Country Club, you can just say like, "I know." Like Matt
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick knows how far his clubs go to the fucking 10th degree. It's perfect.
Rahm
Yeah.
does too.
But like something about what Rahm does is just way more impressive to me, even though it might sound stupid. Where it's just like that's just like the way you should do it. You know?
Yeah.
Do you actually know, Matt, that club goes 131? It's like kind of, and he does.
He does.
I know, he does.
But does he?
But does he?
It's almost like the science people, like, is there a galaxy there?
Right.
Do you know? Have you been to it?
Rahm is
Have you been to
religion,
it?
and Matt is science. And
Yeah.
you just don't know who's
There you
right.
go. I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll both love to cop to that. It's a little bit more like it's art versus science.
Yeah.
A little bit. But
And
he's still
Rahm's still analytical.
very much.
It's just there's just a little bit of room for him to like be like, I know where this is gonna go.
I know
don't
for
need
me-
you to tell me it's like 131.1. I'm just gonna hit it and it's gonna go right next.
I
to the
know
hole.
for me personally, if I were that good, which I'm clearly not, I would like having a range as opposed to you got to hit this 132.
Where do you find yourself, Dan? You're a good player.
Yeah, not that good. But definitely don't like it when if someone's like, oh, it's 173. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
Yeah, I go with zeros and
Give me the
fives.
front. Let me know what
Zeros
it
and
is.
fives.
Zeros and fives.
Zeros and fives.
That's just kind of how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's like it's a 140 to 145 shot. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna like hit a 9 iron-ish up there.
Yeah.
You know?
Zeros and fives. I like that.
I mean, just like you said, I like to feel like I'm playing a game out there, not math. You know what I mean? You're trying to get it close to the hole. You're not out there playing basketball thinking, okay, I'm 27 feet. I got to do this. You just kind of go out there and just do
Is
it.
Fitzy more of a mad scientist than Bryson ever was?
Yes,
That's
I think
crazy
he's what,
that
I think
Bryson
he's what
got the bad
Bryson
rap.
tried to be, kind of. And
Yeah.
Matt just didn't really talk about it until guys like me sort of brought it to light. Because he doesn't want people to know about it because he feels like it gives him an advantage.
Yeah.
That's
He's a-
probably a
it's-
big part of
he's a
it. Maybe
sneaky
not a
little
big part of it,
fucker.
but
He's very
certainly
sneaky.
you think, even if you're not doing it exactly, you think all the work that you're doing is putting you above.
Yeah. So why would you want everyone to know what you're doing and then copy you?
But I want Matt to know that nobody else is going to do that.
Yeah, it's true. Takes a
Nobody
level
else is going to every time be on their pad and pencil. Like,
So he was writing them down every time.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's classic.
I saw the guy with him had so many pencils. It was like he must go through so many
I was
pencils.
gonna say he must go through a lot of pencils.
I'm doing the pencil thing now.
I saw that. I actually brought that up to my friends. When you put that up, I'm like, I don't know why I never did that. Made me jealous.
It's
'cause we've
funny.
been
I
to the same
kept
places.
because I'm the scorecard guy. So
Yeah.
like whenever we go, especially when we walk, when you're a cart, nobody's really a scorecard person. It's just whoever's sitting in the driver's seat. But when we walk, I've just always liked to keep score. I like to stand on the tee and know who strokes and whatever. I just enjoy doing it. And so most of the time I've kept pencils from different places, but like not all of them, but generally kept them. Always kind of thinking like this would be a cool thing to collect. Never did it because a little part of me also thought like you're a fucking dweeb like Alex Bush. Like just don't do that. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Nerd.
And
What
then
the fuck was that for?
hell?
eventually
in Rochester?
There's a pink
Jesus.
bag
Yeah.
on my chair.
In Rochester, no less. Wait till we get outside of the city limits.
in Rochester. And then a week ago, I was on Amazon ordering something else, and I was like, I'm just going to order one of those cases. So I just looked
Does
up.
it fit 100?
I don't know the exact number. It's a lot because I had a lot of pencils, and I'm only like
Wasn't that full?
feel right.
I didn't know if it was like a top
a lot
100
of blank
in the world
space in
one.
there. It might be like 100, but anyways, it's way cooler than I thought it was going to
So
be.
cool.
Like I'm actually really into it, and it really showcases a lot of like the course's sort of like artistry and flair because like Like the Shinnecock one is like red. There's not that many red pencils. And then there's a lot of them that are just basic, sort of the octagon with just like the all caps, like block letter writing. Like Pinehurst has one like that. And it's just cool to kind of see how different they are.
I think
and
it's really cool.
Oakmont's was really, it's just got the Oakmont OCC logo on it. It doesn't actually say Oakmont, which is cool. So going through the actual pencils is cool. And then like pretty much all the ones that I still have are the ones that I used for that round. So I like that too. This one like wrote scores at that golf.
I like
so
that.
I'm very into that.
I'll never forget fucking Eisenhower changed all their pencils. Eisenhower blue, red, and fucking white changed their pencils to Ed Mangano, Nassau County executive on all the fucking pencils. That guy sucked. Worst county executive of all time.
Because of the pencils or
Just everything.
because of his policies?
They lost the Islanders. It was everything.
That guy sucks.
But it's just, I remember playing, me and my dice sneak on, we'd hop the fence, and we'd go and grab a pencil because we couldn't get it because we didn't actually go to the guy. We'd go back to the first hole. We'd get a pencil. It'd be an orange pencil. It said Ed Mangano, Nassau County Executive. Like, imagine I was collecting pencils. I had to put that.
brutal.
I had to put that in my fucking
Wait,
thing.
he got to put his name on
It was
there?
crazy. It was crazy.
That's North Korea, man.
Oh, it was horrible.
You can't have that.
I'll never forget that.
No, you can't have it. I did notice a few of the public courses have like their like URL on the
Yeah.
pencil. Like our boy at Bailey Farms.
Oh, yeah.
It says like Bailey Farms underneath. It's like www.baileyfarms.com or something. Which I love.
They're grinding.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. That's cool. For us, golf is very simple. It's a chance to get out, have some fun with our friends. Inevitably, little things have a way of ruining it. The group ahead might be taking forever. We already did talk about slow play on the show. Your buddy counting bogeys as birdies, or you've turned into a shankopotamus. When you find yourself stressing out over golf like this, Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire.
Yeah, people are drinking
I think
Fireball.
they
Like,
want you to say F it.
F it.
bleep it. If you have to bleep it, or don't. Either way, we were at
13 is the F word?
the Rock.
When I did that ad read, I did a whole joke around having to say the word F it, and they said they want you to say F it.
F it because you could also say F it is Fireball it.
For sure.
Oh, it's a place cool. At the Rock City Scramble, people are drinking Fireball like crazy. It's
Hold on,
just
Trent. Let me redo that. Okay. No, in real time. We're going to keep all this in. Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire.
Perfect.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
Fireball
Trent.
Cinnamon
That's
Whiskey
okay.
was flowing, like you said, through the Rock City Scramble. It was getting everyone through. A little wind gust would come in, and they'd have the little nips in their carts, and they would all take it on the first tee when they came through.
Yep.
And it just gave everyone, you saw that little shoulder shimmy. And they're like, whoa, I just felt that go right down to the sternum, and now I feel good. And every single guy that did that piped one right down the middle because they just had that new sense of warmth and energy and camaraderie and vibes. It's a vibes drink.
Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. Fireball is the birdie shot of golf and the number one shot in the USA. The Fireball 50 milliliter shooters are the perfect shot for the golf course. Throw a bunch in your bag. They're ready to go whenever you need them, plus no shot glass or chaser needed. Just crack it and knock it back. If you're really feeling like upping the ante on the course this weekend, make sure to grab the new Fireball Birdie Shot Club. It's literally a golf club filled with Fireball nips.
Did we talk about Tommy Fleetwood?
Tommy.
No, I don't think
I
you
thought we
did.
did for a second, did
Did
we?
we?
not?
No, I don't think so.
Shout out to him. We gave him some more merch.
Every time we see Tommy Fleetwood at one of these events that we have our merchandise. By the way, thank you to everyone that has bought our merchandise. It is on the store.
A lot of
Most
merch
of it
at
is
the-
sold out. We have T-shirts. So if you like the logo of the PGA Championship and you want to get a T-shirt to commemorate the championship and you're watching it on TV and you're like, oh, I'd like to have that, it's still on our website. So go to Barstool Sports store on your app or store.barstoolsports.com. Ton of T-shirts left. Everything else is pretty much sold out unless you're like a small or a double XL. There's a couple of things left on there. But T-shirts for sure. Make sure you go and grab them. Tommy Fleetwood has just become a huge fan of our merchandise. We saw him at the Players. He goes, I want one of those hoodies. We got him the hoodie. He wore it every single day from his car into the clubhouse.
But there was a clip. There was like
There was a clip.
one clip,
Yeah.
right?
Quick clip.
Because
Yeah.
he had played well, and it was like the
Sunday.
Sunday.
Leaders showing
Leaders
up.
showing
He wore
up.
them all 4 days.
Yeah.
And then,
It's a little big on him.
and then today he goes, "You got
was
any more
huge.
merch here?" And he was like picking at Trent's arm, looking at the unreal PGA Championship Oak Hill hoodie. And he goes, "Oh, this is really nice." I'm like, "I'll get one for you." So we ran. We got the extra medium that was in my bag. We gave it to Tommy. It was a new one. It had the tag on it. Give it to Tommy. He was fucking glowing. He legitimately smiled ear to ear. He was in between shots on the range, saw me holding it up, and came over, got the hoodie. And then his caddy was like, "Where's mine?" And like we laughed. He goes, "I'm dead serious." With his like
I
his
started
accent.
to take mine off.
Yeah, you started to take yours off. He said, "Way too big."
Yeah.
He looked at Trent and goes, "Way too big." And this guy's like 6'6".
He's big.
Huge.
He's
All
big.
right.
He said, "Way too big." But
That's
I
fucked
thought
up.
that would have fit him for sure. So I was on your side.
Okay.
I was.
And he was like, "You're gonna be cool." I was like, "Dude, just if you're gonna wear it every day at the PGA Championship."
The caddy goes,
then
"I'm
gonna give it
wearing
to you."
this during the championship. So put it in my locker and I'll wear it that day." So now Danny Rapp is going to take our hoodie and put it in the locker of Tommy Fleetwood's caddy, and you should see that on the broadcast.
Weather dependent.
Weather dependent, if it's cold and chilly, he will be wearing
It will
a
be in this
tan
fucking shithole
PGA Oak Hill Barstool
Dude,
Golf
imagine.
hoodie.
He finished like
just
fifth
kidding, I like
in his
Rochester.
last start. Imagine
my
he's like in the
gosh.
final group.
Joking.
Been
And
playing. Tommy been
If
playing
you're coming to PGA,
time.
or if you're just going to be watching a ton of the coverage, keep an eye out for Tommy walking in to Oak Hill. I'm sure he's going to be wearing the hoodie each day. So I
man
want
of his word.
screenshots, videos, the whole deal.
Great
He's a man
guy.
of his
Is
word.
this coverage? Is this one of the weeks where they give us like TNT or something?
I don't know. I think it's ESPN. I think
Okay, it's ESPN and then CBS or
I
something
think
on the
that's right.
weekend?
It used to be TNT, the PGA Championship. I'm
Yeah, there
pretty
was
sure
one that was TNT. I feel
I'm
like.
pretty sure it's ESPN.
Remember that shit?
TNT PGA Championship.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was like it might have even been the Masters that was TNT. at
No,
one
it was
point.
definitely. I think it was definitely the PGA.
Was it the
For a
PGA?
while, it was. Yeah, it was like Brian Anderson was on the call. It was strange.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, I have no recollection of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you used to have to watch like Thursday, Friday on TNT or something. I think
We
it
saw
was-
Trevor Immelman, speaking of CBS.
Yep.
He has a Augusta National wallet.
Oh yeah, because I tweeted. So I
It's
got
the
a new
coolest
wallet.
thing I've ever seen.
I got a new wallet, and it's very slippery right now because it's new. The leather is slippery.
It's a Timberland wallet.
Yeah. Is that a good brand?
I just noticed it.
It was $20 on Amazon. But I
Amazon's a great operator.
we went out to eat the other night at Buffalo Wild Wings, which I'm sure was
Sacrilegious.
in this area of the
We
country.
got chirp for that.
Hey, what
It's
do you
just
think about
mid.
that?
It's just mid.
It was
It's just
good.
mid.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting though. But
Yeah.
I agree.
The boneless wings are great. They're just chicken tenders.
I'm actually anti going to a place like that in a town, but it was easy.
It was close to the hotel.
It's like someone going to Sabaro's in New York or like a fucking
Michael Scott.
Yeah,
But my wallet,
California Pizza Kitchen in New York City.
my wallet, I used to go to that a lot. My wallet slipped out of my pocket, and it was in the booth. And I went back to the hotel, and then I realized it, and I had to go back to Buffalo Wild Wings. So this thing's slippery. It's been slipping out of my pocket all over town. And I saw Trevor Illman, and I tweeted about it, and he's like, "You got your wallet on you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I still have it."
He just sees everything.
He sees everything. I showed him my wallet. I gave it to him. I'm like, "Look how slippery that is." And he took his wallet out, and he's like, "Look at mine." And it was an Augusta National wallet.
Oh,
Not
no.
one you can buy in the merch tent either.
No,
I
but you
don't
can get it at
think
the
so.
pro shop though. He said.
yeah, okay.
So
But-
nice, dude.
yeah.
Perfect green, classy green. Not like it was
Dark.
dark green,
Like a
beautiful.
kale green.
It was beautiful.
That was
Little
shit to me.
imprinted
Yeah.
Masters logo.
Oh,
Yeah, it was. It's not like it was actually kind of like that, but
it was exactly like
It was
that.
right in the corner.
I can't
People
believe
can't
that
see
guy
it.
won the Masters tournament.
He
Let me
did.
ask you a question that I should probably know the answer to. Is he the captain again for the?
No,
No.
Mike Weir.
Oh, Weir is okay, but he's still involved, right?
I think he like helped pick the captain.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll probably be an assistant,
He'll probably be an
right?
assistant,
Something
yeah.
like that. You guys want to hear my picks I got? That
I would
did
love
with
to
the
hear
Kirk
your
show
picks.
for this week.
Sure.
All right. First one, top 30 plus 300. The Jaeger bomb. Stefan.
It's your guy, Stefan. I think it is.
Stefan
That's your
Jaeger.
guy.
Dude,
like
go
that.
look at his results. I can't. I have no fucking service in Rochester. But
I just sent you the Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Can't get it. ICC internet.
Literally, it won't come
ICC
through.
internet. I forgot.
And what's the
I
password?
Or ICC wireless. I'll click to connect.
dude, his results. This guy's been playing great. Consistent golf.
Okay.
Stefan Jaeger.
Let me look up the Jaeger
German
bomb.
fella, right?
Jägermeister.
German fellow. He's
He's
the
got
Jaeger
59 on the Corn Ferry Tour.
He's sick. So top 30 plus 300. I got Jason Day, top 10
I like that.
plus 300. I'm going to
Yeah,
I was
reevaluate.
gonna say
I don't know if
even
you've- I don't know if
even
you've
post
heard.
practice round.
I got to
Well,
read.
you've
That
heard
was
he's not playing any practice.
That was a
rounds.
pre-presser pick. I got Dustin Johnson to defeat Victor Hovland for the week. Plus 105.
You told me about that one. That one, I think I'm going to jump on that one.
Plus money, DJ. Guy just won on the Live Tour, which we don't know what that means.
But we kind of know. I mean, Brooks was a good example
True.
at the Masters.
We saw him
True.
today, DJ. He looked like he was in good spirits.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, good. I think you're right. After the Brooks thing, because he won the Orlando Muni tournament.
Yep.
Right? And then right away, almost won the Masters tournament.
Correct.
I got Xander Schauffele, top 10.
Wow.
Plus 175.
Okay. The reason there was a pause there, I was just trying to think, is Xander going to win a major ever? And it feels like a yes, but I just had that thought flash into my head.
The answer feels like a yes.
It does, but he's been that guy for like 5 years now.
Your boy, the Jägermeister, has had some fucking finishes.
Read these off.
So I'll start the Players Championship. He was even before that. This guy's been fucking playing. Genesis Invitational, T40, 2 under. Okay. Honda Classic, T14, 6 under. The Players, T44, he was 3.
Okay.
Valspar Championship, he went even at T27. Then he was cut at the RBC Heritage, and then he started playing some good golf. T18 at Mexico Open, T27 at the Wells Fargo, and then a T11 at 18 under par at the AT&T Byron Nelson.
Those are all better than top 30.
Every single one of those, except for the obviously he had the cut at the RBC, but 4 out of his last 5, his worst finish was T27.
And he's plus 300 to finish top 30.
Yeah, this guy's trending in the right direction.
This is the golf, the Jägermeister.
Yep.
I like him a lot. Xander, top 10, plus 175. And then my winner this week is John Rahm.
Yeah.
What are his odds right now on Wednesday of the
750, I think?
Plus 750. Kirk was obviously chirping me for going out on a limb there. I think he's the second betting favorite in the tournament. I think Scotty Scheffler's plus 700. But
kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, a little crazy. But
yeah,
Scotty hit about 300 golf balls on the driving range today.
I think this is he was practicing. I think this is going to be a year where John Rahm wins 2 majors.
Mm-hmm.
So if you bet on the next 3, then you'd be in the positive.
Get him at plus 750 in the next 3.
We also walked with him. We've talked to him almost every single day we've been out here.
That's a fact.
The vibes are out of
It's going to be one of
the charts.
I said to him, oh, it's John Rahm of Barstool Sports. He thought that was very funny.
It is, but it's a chalky pick, but the tournament's gonna end and everybody's gonna be like, yeah, of course John Rahm was gonna win that tournament.
We're getting a little too comfortable with him today. He was walking up to us and I was like, what do you got in there? And he's just like, coffee. I'm trying to make conversation about everything now because we're just his fucking buddies. He laughed. He's like, just coffee. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
I actually bought a flag today, and the reason I bought it was so that John Rahm can sign it when I see him in Scottsdale when he wins.
When he wins. Yeah.
Just
I bought a flag, but I'm thinking on my back wall, I don't really have room for more flags. I might have to start moving some shit around.
Do you have a man cave?
I don't have a man cave. I have a basement that I haven't redone yet. I could probably turn that into that.
Think that's going to be man cavey?
Maybe. She's afraid of the basement, so probably.
Scary down
Basements are scary.
No,
yeah,
basements
they are.
If you didn't grow up with a basement, I could see you being scared of a basement. It's just like the door kind of creaks all the time walking down.
I grew up with a basement, and that's where the washer and dryer were for laundry. I was always hustling. I would hustle down there, and I would put the clothes in the dryer, and I'd be hustling. I'd be throwing dryer sheets in, and then I'd run up the stairs.
There's just things that there's we have these little spider crickets that sometimes find their way in the basement. The basement's just a place where
creatures are.
Things just happen. Noises are happening. Little drips are happening on the concrete by the boiler.
Something about
it's just not perfect.
Humans,
you could have a beautiful mansion and that little area by where the heater is and all the water boilers.
Cobwebby.
Shit's just weird.
Yeah.
Humans don't like being underground until it's time.
That's probably like a human instinct.
It's like, well, I'm down. I don't want to be down
Being
here.
surrounded
Not
by
yet.
soil.
Not yet.
I would also say that if you're an ill doer in a residence, you're probably going to hide in the basement,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Every time I walk in my basement and turn on the you have to turn on the light when you turn the corner. I always think that right when I turn on the light, I'm just gonna see a ghost of a girl just staring at
We're
me.
like a rat. I feel like I'm always scared of seeing
Just
rodents.
Or just a family that had been murdered 10 years ago.
the ghost of a girl.
How far are
is
you from
so
Amityville?
Creepy, man.
I don't
Pretty
like
fucking
it.
close.
I don't
actually.
like this.
Yeah.
Amityville's not
Within
that
20
far.
minutes.
man.
Amityville horror.
Within 20 minutes.
It's not
10
far from here.
No, from
where
Fuck
I am.
out of here. Oh,
From where you are.
I don't like that.
10, 15 minutes.
I hate that.
Right
You
now.
go see the house, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
do
sold and lived in right now.
that. Who are those crazy people?
Psychos.
I didn't know it was
Sick
close
fuck.
to
You can buy any house. You gotta
There's
buy
so
that
many.
one?
Again, I'm on Zillow all the time. There's so many houses.
There's a
out
lot.
there.
They're everywhere.
Let's say we do believe in the pixie dust and you just every lights are out.
Okay.
How do we explain all the crazy shit that's happened with paranormal shit?
I'm not a scientist.
Coincidence? There's some
Like,
wild
give me
accounts
one.
of paranormal shit happening, right? Like exorcisms of people and they're
Yeah.
flying up and hitting the fucking ceiling and shit.
No, I've
crazy.
always said that I don't believe in ghosts just to make myself feel better because I'm pretty sure I believe in ghosts. Like it's like a cheat for my own brain. Like if I'm in a scary situation, if I'm in a basement, I'm like, this stuff's not real. But in the back of my head, it's like, we gotta go. We just gotta get the fuck out of here. I don't know. I'm in a place where it's just kind of like, who knows?
It's a little bit like Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson says with aliens. Like now, okay, it's been like 15 years. Everyone's had a camera on their hands all the time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we just see them all the time? People would have footage of them all the time.
CCTV should see ghosts on a regular basis.
There'd be all over the place. There'd be thousands of videos of ghosts every day.
What do you think, Dan?
Well, wasn't there like
you
a
think
thing?
They know?
Well, wasn't there a thing like a year ago or something where the Army said that they like acknowledge there was a big UFO sighting that the Army said like we can't explain this?
Yeah, the military has in the last couple of years has come out. There's been documentation where it's like we don't know what this shit is.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the way the news cycle works now. It's like
Logan Paul claims that he paid a shit ton of money, $100,000, $150,000 for this. Someone was trying to sell this video of a UFO. He claims it's like the clearest visual evidence of aliens here on Earth. And Logan Paul like sneaky like recorded it with like a fake button on his shirt and recorded it as the guy was showing it to him, and he like has the footage. What? And it was on his podcast, Impulsive or whatever, and he was claiming that he's gonna release it to the world at some point. He was pissed off that this guy was holding on to something that's supposed to be so life changing.
Isn't that just like theft?
I don't know. I have to listen to the whole thing, but that's the crux of it.
Property theft.
Yeah.
That's the crux of it.
It also just sounds like a guy who knows how to give views.
He also claimed that the video wasn't that good. It was like a blurry video, but he's like, the way that this thing moves through the air is absurd.
Yeah, those have been the latest reports that or the latest crazy revealings are that the way these things are flying and then turning at a 90-degree angle, like no human thing could do that because the human would crash through the wall and like explode into pieces. Like you just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's all about like propulsion systems, right?
Yeah.
Like they're seen moving forward, but there's no plume or there's nothing like that shows
there
why
was
they're
one
moving.
that went like straight by the plane and then just went up. It's like straight up and down.
See that stuff totally, but like to Neil deGrasse Tyson's point, I don't know if he's right.
Right.
But to like the alien or the ghost thing, there would just be thousands of videos of ghosts.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless the ghosts
also
know.
could just be like
just like they've been
your
living
point
in
of
the
view
future.
of whatever's flying. They say that fucks people up. You ever see the video of the plane that's not moving?
Yeah.
And they say it's just because it was moving this way, you were moving that way, and you were the person that was filming it was moving at the perfect speed for the plane to not be moving. It looked like the plane was legitimately not moving.
Yeah. That video's weird.
It looks like the plane's just stuck in the air. And she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Watch it. Type in "plane stuck in the air" video. It's
Bush
crazy.
hasn't seen it. I could tell by his reaction.
You haven't seen this? Dude, they're driving down a street. They look up, and it's a 747 that's just above them. It's just not moving. It
Clear
looks like
footage,
too.
too.
It looks like it's being hung by fucking Pinocchio strings. You have it?
I
He
think.
just stood up.
Yeah.
All
Is this
right.
it? Is this it?
Is this plane hovering? Yeah.
It's
that's
got to be it. Right?
I've never seen this either.
You've never seen this? Come look at this.
That plane looks like it's just hovering. It looks like a big
Well, that's
one as
not the
well.
one, but it's the same idea. It's not the same one.
Yeah, but
See, it's just not moving.
it looks like it's just kind of hovering.
Isn't that crazy?
No
Look
way.
at that. Look at that. No way! Dude, it hasn't moved from that tree.
moving this way?
No,
know.
they're just
Facing
moving in a way.
It doesn't know. You don't know. Like
looks
it
like
hasn't
it's stuck.
moved. It hasn't moved.
It looks like it's stuck in the air.
Wild.
Yeah. It looks like it's an Independence Day ship that's just hanging there.
Right. No, it's bizarre.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but like it's just I don't know what that is. The right angle. It probably is moving. I don't know. Has to be moving. Whatever, man.
I believe in aliens. I don't believe in ghosts.
They might be one and the same.
Could be. I hope I'm wrong. It would make life a lot more like.
Oh yeah. Come back and haunt some people.
Yeah. Right. Whereas the lights out thing stinks.
For sure.
I don't want that.
That's
for
the
anybody.
worst. That's the worst scenario for being
Right.
honest. Well,
Hope I'm
depending
wrong.
on
I
what
think
you
I
did
believe in
down.
reincarnation.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right. Buddhism, right?
I think I just believe that like I'm gonna feel like I'm someone else next time. Do you know what I mean?
Or what if you were a bad guy, then you end up like a slug?
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
I'm with you, and I'm down with that too. But would you feel it now?
Dude, a slug would be
What do you mean?
terrible to me.
Like who's saying that
Gotta
this
be the
is
worst
the
Any of
first
you
story?
knew
No, I don't think
could
this
have
is
been
the
a
first
human?
me. I don't
You're like,
think I'll know. I don't think I'll know what's happening. I just think I'll just this dome will be somewhere else.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for at least.
I'm good with all of it.
Yeah.
It's more fun that way.
It definitely.
When you're just like I was saying earlier, like there was a point in my early 20s when I was just like, I'm an atheist and this is all
Dust to
just
dust.
bullshit. But then it's more fun to just be like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Who fucking knows?
Agnostic is you just believe that we don't know, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I am.
An atheist says that like there is no God.
Anybody who thinks they have that was my problem with atheism at the end was like anybody who thinks they have an answer, whether it's you're dead and you're gone, or you go to some place in the clouds where there's angels and everything you ever wanted. Anybody who thinks they know the answer, they're probably wrong.
Yeah, that's kind of
Arrogant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, atheism I'm out on too.
Yeah, because it's too much like I have this answer. Why is that any more different than the other person who has the answer?
Right. I'm not in on that either. Yeah. I'm close to agnostic, I think.
That's a good way to be.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is the golf capital of the world and was recently voted America's favorite buddies trip destination. They get millions of rounds of golf a year.
It was recently visited by myself, Frankie, Birdie, and our fathers. Mm-hmm. We played just some great golf. We played at Caledonia. We played at a Pete Dye track. It really is one of our favorite places. We've been there 3 or 4 times already this year, and I'm sure we'll go back a couple more. It's just a really great place if you love golf.
Yeah, we saw Max Homa today. I said I don't like to push my content on any of the golfers while they're preparing for the PGA Championship, but I know he's a fan of the Foreplay podcast and our YouTube page. I said, if there's anything that you watch of ours, it's this series that we did in Myrtle Beach with our dads. I think you're going to fucking love it. And he laughed and he said he can't wait for it. But a big part of that is because of how good the golf courses looked in the video, our dad's reactions to how nice Myrtle Beach was. We stayed in northern Myrtle Beach, the hotels, everything about it was 10 out of 10. Waking up, seeing the ocean, going in the hot tub, going in the pool. There was a lazy river at our hotel. Oh. There was a swim-up pool bar. I mean, you really felt like you were in a resort, which we were. And it was a really good getaway. That place is phenomenal.
Whatever your budget is, Myrtle Beach has something for you and for your buddies. If you want to plan a golf trip, visit www.playgolfmyrtlebeach.com. They have all the info on golf packages, courses, hotels, and things to do in one convenient place. By the way, if you're the group leader who organizes your buddy's trip, you are eligible to play for free. So be sure to ask one of Play Golf Myrtle Beach's package partners for more info when you plan your golf trip. Thought we lost Dan there for a second. Want to visit Myrtle Beach? Play Golf Myrtle Beach is giving away a golf trip for you and 3 buddies. Just visit www.foreplaymyrtlebeach.com to enter to win a 3-day, 3-round golf trip to Myrtle Beach. Once again, go visit www.foreplaymyrtlebeach.com.
Yeah. Donald Trump has won 22 club championships. Is that the most anyone's ever won any golf event ever?
Where did you just see that?
It was on Instagram. He was like talking about it on a range.
Yeah.
22 club championships.
Well, he owns like 22 golf courses.
Yeah. How many does he own? How many has he got? I bet that number's the same.
How many has he played in?
That's a hilarious number of club championships to claim he won.
I would say that there's got to be plenty of clubs where there's like one golfer that's just way better than everyone else that his guys won like 45 of.
You think?
But Definitely. Then you start to get pretty old.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Like once you've won more than 22 or 8.
22 years of dominance.
Then you're already, let's say you started winning them at age 20. If you've won 40, you're 60 now.
I don't know. If you're that good, you probably won it when you're like 13.
I want to talk to the greatest club champion in America. I want them to reach out to us. Like who do you think owns that title?
Who's won the most club championships in the country?
Is it 50?
I just don't know.
There's probably a really small club where there's like one really good golfer. I would guess someone's won more than 30.
Do you think they have a club championship each year if they have that small of a club?
I don't know. I think more than 30. I think over 30.
Wow.
Because if a guy wins when he's 14,
reigning supreme over that
14
club.
Until 55, that's 40
not
years.
everybody's
so for people's
like a member at a
full
club
lives
14.
And memberships, this one guy
parents
just kept
are
winning
members,
every year.
and then they allow them to
I feel
play.
like we would have heard about it.
Yeah,
Maybe not. Reach out. Let us know.
Reach out if you think that you have the greatest record in club championships,
or you know of one.
Let
us know.
You have to come with like facts, though.
I need a plaque.
Yeah,
I need to see a picture of the plaque.
Right. I want to walk into a clubhouse and see this guy's name 30 times.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah,
for most people's full membership lives at this club, this guy just won every year.
Because like when you see one guy's names like 5 or 6 times, you're like, that guy
whoa.
dominates. Yeah.
30? No way, dude.
I think
I'm trying to think of 30 golden little plates. Impossible. Rename the championship after him.
What's the most impressive club champion to be in the country?
Honestly, like maybe like Whisper Rock, where there's just like pros on pros on pros.
Yeah, true. Because, like, I know the obvious answer would be like Augusta, but I feel like the golfer level isn't that high.
Yeah, Whisper Rock's pretty impressive.
Like, yeah, like a Whisper Rock.
Like who wins the Whisper Rock Club Championship? Is it John Rahm?
I think they have. I mean, pros playing it.
Yeah,
so I don't think it's just a pro, but there are a lot of them that pros aren't allowed. I mean, if you're the club pro at like Wingfoot, they have a lot of really good players there.
Yeah,
that's definitely a big one to win. I would say Wingfoot would be probably top of my list. Do they have a club championship at Augusta? Like a club championship? I don't know if everyone's there at the same time. I feel like they have their like. Either. I feel like they have like.
I'd
their
actually
member
love
guests.
to watch that if they ever broadcast.
Isn't Jeff Knox like the club champion every year?
Yeah, there's a new guy now. Jeff Knox is Michael McDermott. I think
he's
his
like
name
the guy.
is. He's the marker now.
Yeah.
Jeff Knox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they passed the torch.
Oh wow.
I'd love to watch the members play Augusta. Just like regular guys hacking it out there.
They could just broadcast that. I'd watch every second of it.
Absolutely.
They would take over our YouTube presence in 2 seconds doing that.
We gotta head to this airport or what?
Absolutely. Yeah,
we gotta go to the airport. When this comes out, we'll be doing Barstool Classic in St. Louis. You guys will be filming. We got all kinds of. We're just rolling through, man. Rolling through.
Barstool Classic on Monday in Iowa, which
I'll
is
still
exciting.
be in Rochester.
Yeah, enjoy your time here.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy it.
I would like to state for the record, I like Rochester.
I do
my
too.
jokes were pointed at making Alex Bush feel sad.
I do like it here.
Yeah,
we like Rochester.
Pro Rochester.
Not pro Dan.
None of us tried a garbage plate.
You're so mean.
Yeah, we could have last night, but he did.
How'd it go?
Brendan hated.
I don't think he likes it, but I think he
Alex
just
Bush, give the mic
wants
to
me to
Brendan.
be unhappy.
Brendan,
give your honest
what'd you
review
think about?
He's an honest guy.
of a garbage plate.
It was. I mean, you hyped it up to be like some of the best food I was ever gonna eat. It was just like 2 burgers, no bun, some cheese on them, macaroni salad. So there's like mayo and shit on it, which is weird, and it's all in one plate. Crispy home fries and like taco beef. That's what you guys call the hot. Do you guys call the hot?
Hot meat?
Hot meat, yeah.
Meat hot?
Meat sauce, but you could put that on a taco.
So it's just a bunch of mush.
Yeah, and then you cut it all up and you shove it in your face.
Did it taste
like,
good?
It like sometimes some bites tasted better than others.
Yeah.
You also got no condiments on yours.
I got ketchup on mine. I'm not a mustard guy.
Yeah,
We got back. That was the first thing Frankie asked me. He's like, "What'd I miss?" And me and Taylor Ray were like, "Not much."
Really?
Yeah.
You guys suck. You guys just have no culture.
No culture. I know I would like it. I know for sure that I would like it.
Yeah, it's just
It's just things that we like a pretty good amount, all put on the same plate, mashed together, right?
Yeah, but you put the pussy on a pedestal.
That's kind of food.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I'm saying, put them all together, great.
It's
That's all I'm saying.
it didn't live up to
You see, 40-year-old version.
Yeah, but
You're putting
it
the pussy on a pedestal.
put the pussy on pedestal. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's no parlor burger hype in Minnesota.
No, yeah, that
Minneapolis.
lives up to it.
You talk about the parlor burger, and you're like, you're not gonna believe this burger when you go there, and everyone leaves there being like, it's the greatest thing I've ever eaten.
It's a good
Yeah,
burger.
but I also didn't say you're not going to believe. I said
That's true.
I said this is.
But the amount of hype
amazing, but
around
that's all
this
I
thing was
said.
insane.
Yeah,
we saw
from
120
others.
golfers yesterday. Every single person.
It's also
said you
just
have
a
to get
local.
garbage
It's a
plate.
local thing. You
Yeah,
just got to do it when. Yeah, I didn't say this is going to be the greatest thing you've ever had in your life.
Speaking of the greatest thing you've ever had or seen, your father is one fucking character, man.
Titan of Western New York.
I love him. I love that guy.
I love him too. He's great.
I love him.
Me too.
He loves you too.
He does. Yeah, it was good to meet the Bush family.
Spoke highly of you.
Do you love him, Alex?
Yeah, of course.
He spoke very highly of Alex.
You wanna
So
tell your
did his
father on
mother.
the
We
show
met
that you
we
love
met
your father?
Alex's whole
You
family.
met my mom.
Yep.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do your parents listen to the show?
My dad struggles.
Your dad
to
knows a
find
good
it. He
amount
always-
about us, though.
He always says, "I tried to find the podcast, I just can't find it." I'm like, well, I don't know.
That's
But
Google it.
My
What do we call
mom
him? T-Bone?
follows like the clips.
T-Bone. He knows a
Yeah.
good amount about us, though. Like, when
T-Bone.
we're talking
Yeah,
about it,
he knows what's going on. He
Yeah.
definitely knows.
He's a
what's going on.
titan of the TV industry. It's crazy. You shake his hand, he brings it in towards you.
He's old school.
Fucking smacking your arm. You
He's
know,
how tall is he? 6'5"?
6'6"
Much
probably.
more
My
athletic.
brother's like 6'8" though.
that's crazy.
Yeah, your dad just has a presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a really nice guy. Cool guy.
Your mom was very proud.
But yeah.
I'm proud of you, Alex.
We're all proud of you, Alex.
You know, during
Thanks.
the pandemic when he didn't have a job anymore, we were like, just keep at it. And then he found Barstool, and now it's like, you know, it's
Jesus
a dream,
Christ.
dream come true.
Your
for
mom
Alex.
did say that.
Acted like a fucking.
She really did say that.
That's
It was
like-
You're down in
amazing
the
how
dumps.
things happen, right? Like during like
You know, I
tough
applied for an Islanders job.
Wow.
Well, the thing
I got
about
second
Alex
place.
Bush that
We saved you, Bush.
every time I
thank
talk,
God. No
like if
problem.
I'm just hanging out with Alex, he's had every job in like
Yeah.
the sports.
He's a grinder.
He worked
digital
for a rapper.
sports
Didn't he
space.
work for a rapper?
Yeah, Mike.
Mike
just
Stud.
Just Mike. Yeah, Riggs knows him.
Yeah.
He
You
lives
worked
out-
for the
he lives
NBA.
out-
You
I
worked
lost
for the
$2,000 at a beer pong.
to
game
beer
with Mike
pong. Yep.
Stud.
NBA, G League, PJ Tour,
That
rapper.
was the night I got COVID.
He's done. He gave it to us.
Checks out.
Brendan Jones was on News 12. He was a newscaster
Yeah.
working for MLB Network. Both these guys have bounced around like fucking crazy.
A little bit more
NHL
stable
Yeah,
here.
Network.
NHL Network.
A little bit more stable here, but it's fucking. We
Way
don't
more
let you
stable
guys
here.
sleep, which is
Dude, when we go to the media
but it's a
center,
grind.
Alex Bush is like kissing people on the neck. He knows everybody in there.
He's a god up here.
It's
I
crazy.
just know people. I don't know.
It's crazy.
yeah. You grew up here.
My dad was also like in TV, so like half the people there, like local TV in Rochester, I just know them through
Right.
growing up and connections and
Dad
friends.
told me, doesn't he owns like 80 stations or something?
He's retired now, but I don't know how many.
the
they
Logan
own.
Roy
I
of
think
Western
I
New
think
York.
there's
Yeah,
more
he
than
is.
I think there's over 100, but it's
Over
He
100
had the
stations.
CW.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another unbelievable fact.
He had the
He's
CW,
retired
which-
now, but like his conglomerate owns this network that puts live golf on.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get an inside scoop from Alex, and he's like, I can't. He's like, I can't.
Sorry, Trent.
I just didn't want to for you, but
Yeah.
You're really mean to me. We have to talk about it.
no, yeah, we do have to talk about that.
Alex Bush
Next
said
time.
that his favorite part of this year was when Dan didn't get invited to the Dad Bod Classic.
He said he was doing the chop. He was so happy. He was spinning in his chair.
spinning glee, dude.
It's a great day.
I love you, Bushy.
All right,
All right.
let's go to the airport.
Get the fuck out of here. Dude, major championship golf tomorrow on television.
Very
I can't
cool.
wait.
Excited.
I can't wait. Oak Hill's going to be badass. We're going to see a lot of bad shots. People trying to hit stuff out of the rough. It's going to be sweet.
I think we're gonna see some of the shots out of the rough that go like 7 yards. I think we're gonna see some of those.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Those are good.
Give that to me. All right. Enjoy Major Golf. We've got every day we're doing like a half-hour recap podcast that's going to go live on YouTube as well. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we'll put the actual podcast, Knee Jerk Reaction podcast, up. So every day you're getting stuff from us. We're going to be in tune,
Plugged in.
We're going to be plugged into the PGA Championship, and we're going to be delivering every day. So thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, literally later today. Hit it hard.
Hit hard.
Hit hard.